Well, I guess we'll see in a couple seconds.
So what I do is put it on ultra low latency, and that usually works out pretty
I
well.
think my delay is only like 5-10 seconds, something like that. It's pretty low.
But yeah, it's so hard to stay interested in a game.
What'd you say, Willem?
So at first I used OBS, and then delay was like maybe 5 seconds. Scanner was it? The first time we streamed.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, but it wasn't too bad.
The other thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was
just. The second time I used Streamlabs, and then that was like 30 seconds delay.
Well, I mean, isn't that basically just the stream version of OBS in reality?
Yeah.
All right, I'm actually going to add a few things here. Let me go to the Discord. By the way, hello everyone. How's everyone doing?
Live, gentlemen.
We are live.
Are we?
Everybody, keep it via professional, please. Get kicked out of the commentator booth.
I don't know if I can handle it.
But we see, so they went in mind in this game for using 10 points. So the attackers used 5 points, and the defenders used 4 points.
Yeah, so for anybody in the stream who doesn't know about it, in this tournament we're using a point system, and I'm going to pull that the point picture up real quick, so people can kind of get a gist of how it works and all that. Now, if I can find it, where'd it go? Save image.
And it's essentially what
Titus. I love it.
What this? Whoa, Titus.
What were you saying there, Gander?
Yeah, so essentially this point system, what it does end up in is a lot more interesting matchups between factions. We get a lot of factions that we don't see as often, but in this case we do see the Galatia, we do see the Missazili, but yeah, I mean,
but like you see Massilia, Athens, Bactria, those are...
yeah.
Where the fuck did it go? I saved it, so where'd it go?
I think Willem knows the point system by heart, so he can just list it off.
Yeah. Nearly.
He should know
that. Yeah. But
yeah, so this matchup also is it's one team that's probably more more well practiced together. They've basically got the Random X team on one side, and then the other team being composed of 3 players who don't play a lot as a team together, but they know each other's play style and they know each other. So
and what they said before entering the battle, they were like feeling confident. They were, we're playing against them. Oh yeah, we're winning.
Nice. Well, they're coming off a loss, right, Hermes team. So
yeah, exactly. They saw
have
like
some influence there.
From losing.
So they've played one game, you say?
So we have a random X team in this battle, and we have a group scrambled together. But they know each other, etc. But they were feeling confident because the random X team lost their tournament matchup against the Beekeepers. And yeah, so they're thinking like, oh, we got this, the back.
It's going to be very interesting
mm-hmm.
to see if their cockiness will be warranted.
No, it is a scrimmage game.
Random X.
Yeah.
So
no,
I'm gonna make a prediction here because
they're all real
JJ,
quiet.
Joseph,
let me see if I can turn them up.
Let's zoom in on that light horse.
Yeah. So we see JJ, Numinian Rider.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Bactria Royal Cavalry. For Bactria. And we see Carthaginian. Was that Noble? No, General.
See if that helps, guys.
Regular, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You see the 7 basic legionaries.
Yeah.
Bibs, let me know if that's better. Turning you guys up a little bit.
Probably going to be a very standard attack in this little corner.
I mean, everybody does, right? Like,
yeah.
It's kind of hard to It's kind of hard to find an excuse not to go there.
Well, you can try. It usually just never works out very well.
Right.
Yeah. So there's one other spot people sometimes attack, and that's on the left side from the gate side. From there.
So the northeastern side.
Yeah, northeastern side. If you look on the minimap.
Yeah.
Which is decent, but it's just not that good. Like if you get this, why not use it?
Iron Knight, how we doing?
You don't get the juicy archer angles there. That's the.
So who do we have attacking?
Random X.
So
Random X is
we got
attacking.
Hermes. We got Kirky was on their team too, I think. And who was the third? Was it Willow?
Willow. Yeah.
Bloody.
Yeah, Willow. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Kirky, I don't know how much he plays with them. Do you have any insight there, Roland?
So he was saying like Kirky is their stagiaire, their new guy.
Ooh.
So they're training Kirky a lot. Yeah. So
that's interesting. Him. That's interesting. So they're
how's it
trying
going,
to
JJ?
Into their team now.
Yeah, I like that.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to set up to show the point system,
Hermes,
but I don't know why it's not
his
working.
Team, they do have something to prove to the people out there, right?
Mm-hmm. They want to show that they, of course, can win a match.
Jesus.
Pretty rough.
That was me.
That was a cheap.
That was like right at the nuts, man.
You haven't even done your fight yet, Willem. So
I know. Afterwards, you can go just shit on me.
So they did do pretty good on defense in their defensive battle.
They're good.
Yeah, I was trying to show you guys the point system, but bring up the grid. But for some reason, it's not.
Attacking, of course, is always a lot harder. But Tarsus is a very attack-friendly map, so...
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Tarsus. It's actually probably my favorite map. I just feel like there's a lot of opportunities for a lot of different angles to hit this.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that, like, oh, you can only go, there's blah, 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 and I'm like, I don't really believe that. Because, I feel like there's so many ways you can get around and hit different angles in this area, And I feel like the outside of the map is pretty attacker-friendly, but it does have a pretty solid inner, quote-unquote, keep,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if it ends up being a close battle, I think time is going to be a factor for sure, because it does take a long time to move through this map. It's
I think
way up there.
I think that the defenders are going a very soft defense here. I mean, you got light infantry up forward, couple slingers, but
and that could be because we see an artillery on the attackers.
I'm honestly, there's two. Yeah, I was gonna say, is there only one really? Honestly, I've seen people say, "Oh, you brought two artilleries." Well, all right, I'm holding here.
But if you see like
I don't know, Royal.
You can reach actually this. So if they blob up too much on this place, they can actually get hit hard.
Yeah.
Well, no one sees what you're drawing.
Oh, yeah. You can't see my drawing, Ellington?
I can see your drawing.
Ellington can.
Yeah.
Oh, Ellington is...
Because as a spectator, you can, And, I feel like some people try to, like, oh, if I come over here, then I can, like, blah, blah. It's a terrible idea. Don't do it.
No.
Don't.
Arches on the wall, everything.
Oh, my God.
And you get the shielded side, too, so it's not worth it.
And it's yucky. It's just...
No.
Like one slinger right there, and you're just like, give me kills. Yes.
So we did a practice match yesterday.
Cool, Royal.
I think. We did like Nabatea on defense versus Lucid.
Okay.
Would you call it a practice match?
No, not a practice match. We did a match on Tarsus.
Do it, Noah.
We tried to.
Yeah. Vanguard Cav? I do not believe so.
Close to the wall.
Yes, they did.
How do you think that went past us? Because you were attacking.
Well, considering I had to replace my ally so that they could push while me screening you, it worked pretty well with disrupting the attack, I'd say.
Yeah.
As a podcast. So Royal Athenian says, I wish I could listen to this on Spotify as a podcast. All right, new podcast group. Let's go.
Maybe one day in the future.
Willem, did you see over here? on the bottom corner.
Yeah, I see it.
So there's a sneaky. What people don't know, there's a tiny little sneaky forested
Forest,
area right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And Joseph is known for his.
It's pretty
Yeah.
last minute, Royal.
Yeah.
Joseph-
Honestly, I'll be as bold to say
Is
that
it-
I don't think there's any better light horse player out there than Joseph.
Is
If
there
it's one thing he knows, it's that light horse. or
for the
light
chat?
trap.
Are
He
the
is so
other guys
sneaky
too
with it.
loud for you at
My
all?
prediction is he'll move it around and try to hide it in the woods behind their armies,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Let
I think
them
that's
forget
exactly
about
what he's
it,
gonna try and do.
and then snipe out an artillery or two.
You know, I've even seen people do a long game with their cav coming out the very back gate and going through the
Yeah.
forest.
Yeah, he's that kind of player.
And honestly,
I
I love this forest over here. I love it. I think this provides a lot of opportunities for both sides.
Where you see?
Mhm.
On the backside, that backside forest where there's
Okay.
you can guerrilla deploy either way on that, and I think it provides fun things.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah, and I'm
too
not-
low,
I'm not
Pepian?
predicting that they are going to fall back into any keep very fast here, at least. Like I think they're going to try to fight
Hi,
for
Silent. How's it going?
those choke points that they've set up.
Yeah. Looks like
I just
a
was
light
wondering
defense,
because for
maybe
me
even a
they are
fake
really
defense.
really loud. So, all right, I guess in. We'll see you later.
Mm.
Yeah, the defense is way too light to be a proper defense.
Yeah. So they might want to just stand here.
And
waste
I think
some
that's
time
pretty
for them.
typical. Like, you know, just because I think people realize you just can't. It's a death trap. Like, because you can't set up archers to counter their archers. Like, you know,
Yeah.
because the closest place you can put your archers is kind of here. Because I don't think anybody wants to put archers in the street. But like, so you put archers here and you can't really hit anything. Like, so. And what do we got? So we got 3 Gallic Hunters, 3 Syrians, and then what did Egypt go?
Egypt.
Yeah,
Athens?
let's see, 3 Athens. I'm so sorry. God damn it.
You went
So 3
Common
Crete.
mistake. Common mistake.
I hate Egypt and
It
Athens.
is pretty similar. The
Does anybody else also Seleucid and Carthage? It's not as
No.
bad as Egypt and
No.
Athens, but I do feel like
No.
Seleucid and Carthage, their flags are pretty similar.
You're on your own on that one.
No, I really do think so. Fuck all of you. You know what? You're all muted for the rest of the stream.
I think the attackers have archer advantage.
Yeah, because we got.
Yep.
I saw slingers from Jay. Did he bring all slingers, or did he bring any Numidian?
Probably some.
So his
heavy-
Jen is heavy Numidian. He's got 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Sounds about
Bactria, Syrians, obviously.
So the
Did he
game is
go a 4th archer?
He must be. Yeah.
It doesn't look like it. I only see 3 from Bactria.
Really? Wait.
I see his 3
One,
Syrians, but
two.
I don't see another. I don't see a 4th.
Oh.
I could be
Interesting.
just missing it, but
Oh no, it's at the gate. At the gate. you
Oh,
see a
yep.
light archer?
yep,
Yeah.
got it.
It would be
Persian
strange
Knights,
not
yeah.
getting the extra.
Looks like maybe just to kind of pester the attackers a little bit.
Yeah, and what we see is like RD crew from the defenders shooting down
They're
the
trying,
RD.
yeah.
So they brought 3 RDs. Okay.
I didn't even realize.
saw-
Actually, it's saying turn up the Discord on OBS. I don't know if it's something that everyone is experiencing.
Well, some people are saying it's fine, and other people saying they're not.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hold on.
So what's the reason for them not to protect those artillery?
Hoping they were hoping they would snipe them before they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, the towers are placed in a pretty.
You still got 1, but I think 1 is just not enough.
The
It's
towers
okay.
are placed in kind of a weird spot. I don't know,
Yeah.
and they'll get them eventually, maybe, but it seems like
and
they
this
haven't
one
really
is also-
practiced that too much.
Yeah, I feel like they. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there's
well,
a there's a
one's
spare
still a
one
threat.
there. What was that?
I was just saying that one artillery is still a threat at that angle, so
Mhm.
it's something at least.
I believe they are all down now.
Yeah. R2's that.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong on this, and I can't remember who told me this, but somebody said that the scorpions on top of the towers will target basically the most expensive thing they can see. So, like, you know, you see a lot of people put, like, Eastern Spearmen around their artillery, and the Scorpions won't shoot the Eastern Spearmen, they'll still shoot the artillery instead.
Yeah.
What's up, Noah?
If you move your Eastern Spearmen around, though, sometimes
You can, yeah,
absorb.
kind of get some of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, someone,
they do like
does
to
anybody
target
know,
things
is
that are
that
the
is
highest
that true?
value that they can.
I was just wondering if you guys knew if that was, like, a legit thing, or is that a urban legend?
So what you should do here is put your Galatian Royal Guard and Oathsworn and stuff.
Oh yeah, and leave them up there as well. Yeah.
Oh God.
That's what we call a pro gamer strat.
That's the elite gamer.
Rather have the artillery for 2 minutes.
What are you guys' thoughts on Galatian Royal Guard?
I don't like
it.
I'm
I love
personally a big fan.
they're good, but they're too risky, I would say. For
They're
1400,
they're expensive, aren't
They are expensive.
1400 for a
because-
unit.
You
I
don't
got
like
75
But man,
over.
like,
You
just
don't
like
it.
every time I see Galatian Royal Guard in an army, it just seems like they just annihilate anything they touch.
Yeah,
I've
but
been,
the thing
uh,
is, especially in tourney games, I think it's a little bit too risky because
Uh,
even though if you shoot it in front, you're gonna lose so much value. Like
Mhm.
every single unit you kill is just so
Now,
devastating.
you know, you look at like something like a Royal Peltis, which is not quite as strong as a Galatian Royal Guard, but also, what,
Mhm.
200 gold cheaper.
Exactly.
Still a risky unit because it really
Oh, look, they're falling
doesn't
back
like...
already.
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
So what I've used, like I use the Galatian Royal Guard if I use them to counter elites.
Sure, yeah.
But like the
See
Royal
what
Peltis-
you do is. What you do
By the way,
you're
is that
doing
better? I
7 of them.
jacked up
and then,
the volume
don't
a
know
bit
which
on
one to
the on
We
OBS.
don't know which one to focus on.
Oh, but that's the
have
only
been
unit you're
known.
bringing, huh?
I have been known to do that once or twice.
Iron Knight says, "Ah, yes, I love leaving my Hellenic Royal Guard on the wall." Oh,
He
God,
gets it.
please
He
don't.
gets it.
Oh, and the Galatian swords are wasting peel on the. Ooh,
Oh, yes, they are. Yep.
now they're getting.
Numidian Light's 38 kills. Galatian,
Yeah,
or Galatian swords
They're
up
falling
21.
back.
Very cost-effective unit.
The Numidian Lights.
Ah, I love them.
Yeah.
They're great.
Versatile.
And I like that he comes up and engages the Galatian sword, but I feel like the big difference there that a lot of people don't do, a lot of people would have taken this Numidian Light, they would have engaged the Galatian sword, and they just would have left him there and let him die.
Left it there, yeah.
Yes.
Because if you retreat, you're gonna lose so many units. It's just.
He is
he
kind of
lost-
losing.
But I feel like he is like kind of holding a little respect for not just ditching a unit and letting it die uselessly.
Because he pulled back, now they're getting back shots into the Galatian sword. So
Nice shots there on the slingers.
good move.
He's getting
good
good kills,
move,
16, 17, 18, 19.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Where's
that
their
was
light
pretty-
Steve,
No,
how we
no,
doing?
30 shots in.
Where's that Cav?
Um,
On the right side.
He's already gone.
On the right side.
did he move it?
Over there.
Oh yeah, he moved it before. I didn't even realize that he moved it before he started.
He's an agile mofo.
No. So what he basically done, he went from all the way there, moved
Yep.
to this.
Oh, did he
Viking
actually?
Odyssey.
Did he go into the city, or did he move it before
No,
the
no,
game
no.
started? Okay, I was like, wow.
That's what he
might
could
have
do.
moved it before.
That-
He might have
Please
moved it
don't.
beforehand. He is a very, very sneaky.
We see generals still hanging around in the back, not supporting there.
And this is something we saw.
Yeah, we
with,
got what, all three of them back there.
we saw
Carthage's
this
is
with
relatively
Randomex
close to
in
his
the-
side.
In the tourney game too, they didn't really utilize their general abilities a lot, and I think that's a big mistake.
And they have 3 cavalry general units.
Romulus here has his nearby, relatively nearby his side, but yeah, Bactria and Miss Cecily are pretty far back there.
Yeah.
I feel like this is pretty standard defense for Tarsus. You know what I mean? You've
Mhm,
got your kind of light defense up here. Some people don't even defend it at all, and then you kind of have your next little thing back here. And then eventually, I feel like the main defense is going to be this.
Yeah. I'm
You know.
surprising they're holding also this, actually. Normally we see people here holding because
Rebuild the
army,
city fundraising.
and just the angles that the archers can get sometimes in your units.
Yeah, I feel like it's just another light defense that they'll fall back from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like though, I don't feel like. they'll
Honestly, I
engage
think
that.
all they're doing is giving their slingers here time to kind of pester.
Yeah. And we see a good engagement backstring
Yeah.
helmet versus the
A
militia.
beautiful unit.
You know, that engagement right there will decide the
They
battle.
do have a nice axe. I'll give them that.
That's game changing.
It depends, Thomas.
It's
So,
gonna tip the tide.
actually, javelin men tend to have pretty good ammo. So you have light peltists tend to have like 10 ammo,
Captain
while
we see
Overlord,
heavy-
Cav being aggressive.
whew.
He
That's
likes
the
to
kind of
not
movement that gets you a little sweaty. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He
Nice
warns the
move.
attackers.
Nice move there for the thorough spear.
Mhm. Now the attackers know they need to micro more on their
Get 'em
archers,
distracted, yeah.
sit protected
Yeah,
better.
are
if
those
they wanna
towers
go.
out of arrows already, or are they shooting that cav unit?
I think they're out.
No, not those.
He hasn't
Forward.
taken any losses on the
Oh,
cav.
this one is shooting.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Do you guys ever, when you're blocking your ballistas, do you guys turn your towers backwards?
it happens.
No, do you do it on purpose? I'm asking.
Yeah.
To save the ammo. You know what I mean?
Just not
Yeah.
every time.
Sure,
because,
sure.
Uh, sometimes you need to have troops on them, and that's going to be a little,
Little exposed.
counterproductive.
No, they're, I
What
believe, a
sometimes
medium.
do is like if you turn them.
No, I
like,
guess they are very heavy,
halfway,
which
a
is
little bit
a
that
little
way,
dumb.
their hitbox will be actually bigger too. And
I thought they
won't
were
shoot
lighter than
at the army.
Have them a little
That's-
diagonal is a good idea.
Yeah,
And,
that's what I usually
Sometimes
do.
you can aim them away from the artillery.
Now, what I like about this cab here over on this side is, so on that wall area, you've got this really nasty kill box set up by Bactria and Masacely. And really the best way that Athens could get rid of that is bring in an archer over here to this side to shoot it. But now they have to worry about this cav coming in and getting them, so it makes them far less willing to, extend over here, good move there. I mean, I don't know that specifically Masacely's doing it for that reason, but I do think it's a byproduct of it.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before this battle, how all you need to do in order to negate archers getting good angles is to have a cav unit nearby. Because if you move that cav unit, the archers are going to have to move
Yep.
around, and when they're moving, they're not shooting.
I feel like people get this feeling that if I bring a cav unit and it doesn't get kills, then it didn't do anything. And
No.
I don't think that's true at all. Like, obviously,
No.
kills are good, right? Like, nobody's going to deny that you want to get kills if you can. But I also think even just the threat of the cav
agree.
is a huge thing. Did you guys
Physical,
watch?
mental, yeah.
Did you guys watch the video I put out the other day? Did you guys watch that
The
video I
night
put
battle?
out the other day?
Which one?
The
the
night
night
battle with the wintertime night battle.
I saw you a nice intro.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, no, but what I was gonna bring that up for is because in that battle we took stuff out and the players were a little bit newer. If I remember right, I'm not 100% sure. It was on Joe's stream, so I don't know all of them, but they just froze. Like, even though we didn't really hit them with our cavalry or anything, they just froze and probably wasted 9-10 minutes of their time doing nothing because they
probably because it was pretty cool.
Well, I mean that didn't help, but I think it really just like they were like, I didn't even think like that's a good pun. Thank you, Willem. Literally they just like they didn't know what to do, and I'm like it was just a huge waste of their time attacking, and they ended up losing because of time.
Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
I saw that
Look
slinger
at
move
those
there,
side shots.
Willem.
That's a nice side shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
I
turned around
used to
face it,
bring
though.
I used to bring
Already
Cav a
breaking.
lot
But they're
as
breaking
a
because
defender, but I stopped doing it as much because people like just started expecting that I was going to bring Cav,
Yeah.
and So like I used to have kind of a set thing where I was like, I will always have 1 or 2 cav because I
Yeah.
want the ability, the flexibility to go. But once again, it just kind of turned into people were like, well, Bellington's gonna have cav, and so I
Well,
stopped
you
doing
can
it.
turn that into your favor, right? By not bringing it. You're
Exactly.
negating the
Yep.
anti-cab.
Yeah, but I feel like Cavalry on siege battles are so useful.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Attacking or defending, especially late game when things start opening up.
Yeah.
And the thing that I hate the most about people or like the biggest mistake, I keep saying the biggest mistake. A big mistake that I see people make with their cavalry is just feeling like they have to commit it at some point, like early on. You know, like
Yeah.
I've got to get in. Oh, I got to get in archers right now, or I gotta get into something, and they just like kind of throw them in, and I think it's a huge
I think
huge
patience
mistake.
is a really important thing.
Yeah.
Patience is huge.
Yeah.
Especially depending on the faction you are, you know. I would love to see like some Odrysian Kingdom on one of these battles.
Ooh, yeah.
I am a diehard fan of Odrysian Kingdom. I know that
We did get to see it in the last battle in the last tourney game.
land battle, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to see somebody be like, I need a point, so I'm going to bring him on a siege. You know.
But so look, I look at it this way. This game is a lot like chess. So with the cab unit out there,
I've watched loads of
you don't wanna
videos, but
just
it's
throw it
great
in
to finally catch a
randomly,
live one.
you don't
How's it
wanna
going, Lee?
Throw away your chess
Welcome.
pieces. Because if you do throw away a really valuable chess piece, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage for the rest of the game.
That
Same
was-
goes for this.
Nice move here. See the 2 Bactrian Hillmen?
Yeah. Shrine.
He was able to get him kind of around that unit.
The militia will die. Really
Oh, yeah.
fast.
The militia is, it's not having a good
They
time.
could send
Maybe-
those thorax to help.
Yeah.
But if the Thorax are peeling the Hillman, that's kind of a win too for your defenders.
And I don't...
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Both the Peeler, isn't it?
Yeah,
Let
they
me
are
see.
getting him in the back of that Hillman unit.
Lighthorse moving again.
All right, Noah.
Wow.
See you later, buddy.
It has been hidden for a while, and
It has returned.
I hear Artie coming in somewhere. Now look at that. They just fell back in the center.
Yeah.
Not too much, but they did.
And
like
look
this,
what they did. They already wasted 15 minutes of the attack.
Yeah,
And there
man.
hasn't been a single decisive attacker engagement yet.
I actually like the central defense there with all those angles they're setting up for themselves.
Yeah.
Mm.
One really angle I like is when the defenders, when they get to this point here, and then they put their archers right here, and they can just pew pew.
Mhm.
Yeah. But the
Especially-
one thing
Mhm.
that's bad to hold like this, is you're gonna get a side angle too. Like archers from here will be
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
shoot you in the non-shield. Just
Only if you let them come in there.
They seem to actually be
Yeah.
committing stuff more into this smaller gap. They look like they don't want to give it up.
Mhm.
This one here. Oh, already coming right there too. So Iron Knight says, I like Odrysian Kingdom. They are one of my favorite factions. I just wish they had more or had better armor. And what's
Yeah.
interesting is Odrysian actually doesn't have terrible armor.
The nobles have good armor.
The fact of the matter, it's really the biggest issue is they don't have shields.
Well, they do have something, but it's not true.
Oh, they
Little
got like a
tentacle blob on
little,
their arm.
like a disc.
And can we all agree that they have Rumfias, yeah? As weapons?
But I'm fine. Yeah.
Oh,
Was
what?
that even an argument?
Rumfias.
The fuck is that?
It's such a great weapon.
What is it? What?
It's
They're,
a mounted
blade.
blade weapon.
I thought it was
No,
a Falx.
no. So it is in battle.
It is in Mountain Blade.
It
Yeah.
is a real weapon. That
Yeah, I know,
phrase-
But I
It's a
thought it was a
mounted blade.
Falx.
No, the
No,
boxes are
Falx
shorter.
is more, it's shorter and more curved. This one isn't as curved as the Falx.
But you see that light cap already hiding in here?
Yeah, and see that the
Just
goal here, I think, is for him to snipe
distraction.
out stuff and then stay hidden again, go hidden again. I don't know if he's
Because
gonna go for artillery now. Is it?
he
Actually,
could definitely go
Kirky
for
is-
Massilia already. He couldn't use that
How much ammo? How much ammo do you think?
Massilia
Massilia,
has
it
51
got only one
kills.
arty.
He only has 51 kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very unprotected. I don't think they've kept an eye on that light cav, and that's
Yeah.
Iron
That's
Knight
exactly-
says they have the baby frisbee of death. That's what
Baby
this.
frisbee.
I think I think Athens is out of ammo because he's taking his throw spear away from that artillery.
I don't like using all your ammo with one arty piece, and you see still a boulder in there.
Oh, is it?
So,
Yeah, I didn't even look. Yeah, you're right.
I think it's got more than half left.
Masilia's got some left, but
I'm a
maybe
bit
not
surprised that he's then taking that throw spear
Oh,
away from it.
Look,
then.
look at the cav unit.
There it is.
Yeah, look, cav. There we go.
All right,
Oh,
Athens.
He does have a
Dun,
general
dun,
unit.
dun.
I
Dun,
think
dun.
this might be a waste of cavalry.
I
I
mean,
don't
it's
think
all
so.
about if Athens turns. Oh,
If he can get in there and relieve, he will do enough ammo damage.
I mean,
oh, and
Stay
now
to
he
the
now he
He's
calls
trying
They're
it.
trying to
isn't-
sneak in there. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to alert.
He doesn't want to
anybody.
engage the Ptolemy
Our
or the
general is
base
under
lancers.
attack.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
general is under attack now. So
I
he's gonna
think
have to move
he.
alright, good,
There's a ping.
good.
Don't
Just
go
be
for
a
the
bit
first
careful. Yeah, don't do
Where
that.
is he going?
Trying to avoid
not-
the gen cap.
Really sure. Maybe he saw the ping and he decided, okay, I gotta
Maybe.
go.
Or maybe he's trying to go for an overcharge.
Honestly, not a bad like to get in
I don't
9
know.
kills and get out.
It's good. Good
I'd
escape
rather that
route.
than
Yeah,
lose it.
That's one fourth of the ammo.
Slinger's getting shot in that kind of right
What are you
area.
doing with that?
He's going
He's
back.
going back?
He's going back.
Yeah.
The
He's
mad
getting a bit-
lad.
He's getting too
Noticed they
cocky
didn't
now.
even respond.
Yeah.
so-
And
Yeah,
luckily
he's
for
having-
him,
he's having
I
so
don't
much
think
fun
they
right now.
noticed. I don't think they noticed, honestly.
I don't.
No,
What?
he's-
What?
don't-
Why? What?
How
What?
has Athens not noticed this?
He just did,
Yeah.
and he's tired. That
Yeah,
Numidian
that-
rider is tired.
Or the Numidian rider. That's it's also one thing because he runs around with them a lot to keep
Yeah.
them hidden, to keep the
Yeah.
attackers
We're
on their
seeing
toes. They always
things-
get tired.
Have you seen archers getting focused on by the Cretans?
Is the
Which one?
Bactria is
Bac-
Iceni?
Yeah.
Orders understood.
It's not
Shane?
shooting back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Iceni, that Bactrian archer is all by his lonesome.
But the attackers might need to think of making more speed now. Because
I mean, you're
It's a-
42
they're taking
minutes,
their time.
and you have taken the part of the city they gave you.
yeah,
Yeah, like I said before, they haven't had a single decisive engagement yet,
The
and we're
and they're
already
getting the
20
tail on the
minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is
Time
dirty.
Is there Hillman still alive fighting? There's
Yeah.
still Hillman. He's
Fighting-
still alive. 18
fighting
yeah, 18 minutes in.
veterans
They've still got Hillman in there.
fighting veteran
Yeah,
hoplites without the
That
attack.
Hillman right there.
They don't have an attack order. That makes me cry.
And the entire Galatian army is sitting outside.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Who's playing Galatia?
Like
Hermes.
that's a big mindset in a lot of things. Save Galatia or save the best infantry faction for the loss. I get what they want to do with that, but
All right, hey, we'll see you later.
I think you should have a good balance. But
Yeah, use it throughout your entire army, the entire time.
I'm allergic to waiting with the attack. I have to all in.
Yeah.
I just cannot wait. And I think usually more times than not it works out when you go in aggressively.
No,
So
something.
Of course, you don't want to get focused down by archers and stuff, but that goes for your archers too. You gotta get them in there fast and start defending your troops.
Oh, some big shots coming in from the artillery.
What do you
missing
mean,
almost
Steve?
everything.
Yeah, I like the smart watch
Multiplayer is
thing.
asking why is Pass not participating in any tourneys?
Well, that's a good question.
we did
I'll
have
have to
a
circle back and answer that later.
semi-competitive game today, earlier, which he just did not enjoy at all.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm not much of a competitive player.
But he does have a lot of wisdom.
So Royal Athenian wants to know how I feel about Libyan infantry. I feel like they're a very hotly contested unit, honestly. What do you guys think? Do you think Libyans or Samnites, or do you think it's a situational dependence?
Oh, Samnites.
Samnites.
Samnites any day, man. Samnites. Oh, love them.
Because I know, like,
Points.
I know
Both of
Samnites
them.
typically have the better like defensive stats, right?
Mhm.
So like I feel like a lot of people tend to use Samnites in more defensive fashion, while they tend to use the Libyans in more of
They're
an
tank.
offensive.
They're tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
Wait,
it
why
the other way
was
around.
what?
I like
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
shut up,
gonna
They've
say-
Nightbot.
They've got a higher charge bonus as well. The Samnites,
Yeah,
haven't
I think the Samnite is more aggressive of a unit. You can kill more with the Samnite if you. Use it aggressively.
It kind of
The
depends.
Libyan
Bubbles.
is a sturdy frontline unit in general, and very, very, just very baseline. It's a little bit better than the Thorax, but
Mhm.
just a little bit. So
I
very,
think-
very good unit to bring.
I think what tends to be the hardest part, like for me, when it comes to them, is just like you can only, what is it, 4 of them you can bring? I think
Three. I think.
3. There you go.
Samnites, yeah.
Yeah, you fight them,
But
Captain.
that's usually enough to make a dent in the.
Yeah. I mean, they're an
Frontline.
absolutely solid unit.
To be honest with you, like that's a hard question for me because I'm honestly not a huge Carthage fan. And when I say that, I don't say that in the way that I don't think that Carthage is a bad faction. I just personally am not usually a fan of playing them.
So what we usually say is,
102 on that Numidian Lights there, Willem.
Yeah, and they're wasting.
if you're new to the game and you're trying to learn the game, Carthage is the best faction to do that with. It's because it's the most all-around, well-rounded, very diverse also. So you're gonna have a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of cool
I got
units,
tortoises. That's what I mean.
especially with all the DLCs, which I do think you need in order to play.
I would
Carthage.
agree.
Yeah.
That's
I
why.
mean, diverse, and they're solid as well. Like all their units, they can hold up.
I honestly think it's a very good faction.
No, I agree with that. I just, for me personally, it's kind of a,
Yeah.
just like I think it's one of those, you just don't like certain factions,
No, I hear you.
Yeah, those
Um,
slingers, I think, are they out, Willem? The one you were just circling? I saw he had like 6 of them left at one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last I saw, they had like 70 kills or something.
Yeah. Oh, they're here now. Yeah.
Oh, yep, there they are.
They did decent, but
72, yeah. They're not gonna have much ammo or anything left though.
no, for sure.
Bubbles is asking, so what are the chances we ban Mexi again?
Well, I mean, the last time we kicked Mexi, it was for $150, so.
Welcome, Joe, on it.
Oh
We're
my
watching
God, the one and only Joe.
We're watching a tourney scrim, so not really teams that are in the tourney yet.
It's
Still,
a
but-
one full team and one hodgepodge.
Yeah, some of the players are still in the tourney, so there are some.
Just on different teams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel they really don't seem to want to push here. It looks to me like they're really trying to gain
I
the
don't
flanks.
understand. They need to start pushing there. Like,
It seems like they're trying to push this flank. I think they want to get this angle, but like it's taking them so long.
can we move to the left side now?
The cavalry is constant.
I'm over
motion.
here, and I'm over there, and I'm over here. Ha 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 ha.
That's basically.
Oh,
Well. That's 6 swells.
Joe on it is asking what tourney. Well, Willem.
This is the Willem, please.
So we, how long ago? We started it 2 weeks ago, with the tournament, or 1 week ago, and yeah, we're getting some matches in. It's the tourney of the sweats. I think you just joined it, Joe, like a few days ago.
Only the sweatiest teams are allowed in this tournament.
Exactly. 8 of the sweatiest.
Yeah, so we started. The quarterfinals are wrapping up this weekend. I think tomorrow is the last quarterfinal, and then we're moving into semifinals.
Indeed.
Looks like we see a defender fall back.
I think the attackers are like they're just using all their ammo. I think they're realizing they're going to be out of range here soon.
Yeah.
So you see, I've just noticed a lot of artillery recently.
And I see him bring Evans bring veteran hoplites, which is interesting.
They're
I don't
such a
see
pretty
them-
unit.
Oh
These
yeah,
don't-
for sure.
Very
Just
sturdy.
look at them.
Very sturdy.
If you have the 4x hoplite, that's an option.
No, but
Yeah.
you can have 7 thorax and then a couple of veteran in there.
Now,
Yeah.
I think I can too, Max, right?
what do you guys think of the push on this side? Is this a feasible? I very rarely see people try it, and a lot of times when I do see them try it, it doesn't go very well for the attackers.
So you have the arrow towers there. Big
The air
part.
towers are just a real pain. in the
Right.
I
ass.
think that's the only thing because like the archers have
There is
angle,
archer angle, yeah.
but it's shielded side, so it's not too bad.
It's not as
Like,
effective.
Yeah,
Quick march!
I feel like if you should shoot aside,
It was an invite only, Royal.
because that's just shooting nearly in the front. Like I don't like it.
So
Yeah.
Lee says, I know Rome 2 has issues with its gameplay, but I was wondering, do you think that different factions fight to the same strength that they did in real life?
No.
And I feel like that is, it's just impossible to do. Like,
Yeah.
if we were to do factions to the way they were in real life, the game would be completely and totally unbalanced. Plain and simple.
The only thing that kind of is a little bit historical is that Rome is the best faction. So,
Mm.
but other than that, I think it would be impossible. And they've managed to create a pretty balanced game, I think, with the
Oh, yeah.
factions the way they are.
Yeah,
Rome.
it's done pretty well, I think, so far. Yeah.
Like,
Still
obviously,
Rome.
I think we all know there's some things, but for the most
Minor
part, I think it's
issues
pretty
with this
solid.
Double time!
Yeah, for sure. But we are seeing some historical units, at least, in each faction.
Yeah, and I do like that. There are some things that I wish were like slightly tweaked, but I can understand like why they may have done things a little bit differently. You know, once again, just for balancing reasons and so on and so forth.
Riders!
You know, just because like you have to, it's a game. Like,
I don't mind that if they do that, like like the show tells for.
I love how pissed off people get about Kush. Like,
Yeah.
it just it cracks me up, man. Like, obviously, I think Kush is a good faction, and I think it's a really good faction. But the whole like Kush is OP, get rid of Kush. No, it is
I
not.
think it's fine.
Barbarian
You're-
factions
yeah.
smack Kush.
Yeah.
Like,
We were discussing this the other day, right? And I think Kush, although certainly it could be a good faction, on medium funds
Large.
or large funds, I mean, it's honestly not going to be the best faction. And like you said, Ellington, barbarian factions, with that melee defense, they really just stand up very well
Yeah.
to any armor piercing, and so I don't see the hype there.
I think what it is, I think people like obviously like a lot of people consider Rome OP, right? And so I think like people think that because Rome is quote unquote OP, that because Kush goes very well against them, then they obviously must be OP as well. And it's like, no,
So the
it's
thing
just
is-
it's like basically made to face Rome. Like,
Yeah, so Rome has a lot of armor and has low melee defense, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's why Kush works.
That's why it does well against Rome.
But the thing about Rome that makes Rome a little bit better than the other faction isn't that they have the best units or they have the best armor or whatever. It's that they have the most cost-effective units.
Yeah, they're cheap.
that
You
you
can build solid armies with them.
Yeah.
But
You
going
can
back
create-
to
Mhm.
sorry,
Go ahead.
saying that Kush does well due to arm piercing against Rome, but I mean, there's so many barbarian factions there unit-wise that absolutely smash Roman units as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when we say Rome is the most overpowered, I think it is coming to your point now, which you're about to get to, is the price of the units.
Yes.
They're just so cost-effective for what you pay for.
cost effective
that's
for the
the main
fact
reason I
that
think
they
Rome
can
is
go
OP.
toe to toe with many other things that are more expensive than them. You know,
Yeah.
and that's just great. And also, I think the variety as well. Like, you look at their infantry selection, and it's insane. Like,
Yeah.
You have infantry, good
lot of
archers,
variety, yeah.
you have tortoises, you have everything you need in a tuning battle, in a normal battle. It's just
and the one thing I will say, like, I think they're a little exposed in like this is one reason that in the hot seat we don't ban Rome because I think in land battles, Rome is far more exposed because really their cav option is not very good at all, and so I think that leaves them very exposed in those open areas.
And doesn't have, they don't have.
For this tourney, Rome is allowed because we have this point system.
It's like, hey, you want to spend it, you know?
Yeah, it's a little bit complicated to go through the whole point system, but basically, the better the faction, the more points you have to spend. So if you do want to spend a lot of points on Rome, you're free to do so. But of course, that costs points that you could put into the other two factions. So I would say generally teams are probably not going to bring Rome anyway. But yeah, I don't think it's worth banning Rome ever.
I'll be honest with you. In our tourney match, I can't remember if it was on the attack or defense, but we were actually considering taking it. We would say if they're not going to ban it, we've got the points, we're going to take it. I think it was on defense because we had only spent 3 on our attack, and so we were like, hey.
I think it's a really decent option, like with another 2-point faction like Carthage or Rome. I think it's a pretty decent option for sure.
Yeah, I really hope we get.
Oh man, that artillery, dude.
I don't know if we will.
Yeah.
118 on Massilia now.
Yeah, JJ.
By the way, Egypt has not fired a single shot, and they at 88 kills.
No.
Or yes, god damn it. Yeah, Athens. Sorry.
Okay,
Did,
Apollo.
Are you also distracted?
Did Joseph take out that Massilian artillery, or did they fire all their shots?
No, it's been firing right now. 130 kills now.
He's a little bit passive. No, not passive for sure, but
No, Massilius artillery.
Yeah, he's used them. He's not out, I don't think. He's been firing.
he's a bit careful, a little bit too careful now. I think with this guy.
Yeah.
Because if you wait too long, there's no ammo left for the arty crew, so. He
But
might.
we do see a pretty big brawl in the center there now. They've definitely.
Yeah, it's still just. I don't think it's quick enough. They need more. They need to open up that
Time it's
flank.
ticking.
30 minutes is doable, but then you
28,
can start
man.
pushing a lot.
This, yeah, I would say this would not be where I would want to be time-wise at this point.
No.
I think at this point you want to be maybe 35 minutes left, you know, maybe 35, 40, you know.
Hey,
You got the
guys.
Galatian Legionaries are coming in now, 140 kills on one.
Not so Royal's also saying like we have 43 people watching and we only see
Jesus.
5 likes. Come on, it can be better.
We can do
21,
better.
21 likes, Willem.
We
Oh,
can do better.
Okay, I was
Refresh Willem.
21, it's a bit of a
Never
difference.
mind.
Willem's sitting here calling people out. They're like, I liked it, damn it.
I was like in the old like when
Okay, so Richard Beach is asking, could you explain how a point system works a little bit more in depth? So, each faction has been assigned a point value. So, for instance, Rome, I think it is +4, right, or -4.
Yeah, minus 4 points.
So, -4 points is what you have to use in order to pick Rome, and you have a total of how many points?
So yeah,
10.
you have 10 points.
10.
Both.
10 points in between 2 battles, right?
No. Do you want me to
No.
explain it a bit more?
Ah, yeah, you do that. Sorry.
So, when the match starts, both teams are allocated 10 points each. And they have to use these 10 points for the entirety of that match.
Of the
Now,
round.
there's a point system is -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, and a +1. And the factions are rated in those point systems. So Rome is -4, since being the most cost-effective tourist faction there as well. And, you know, they've got everything you need. To the most expensive. Then -3, we've got stronger factions, and then, you know, they get weaker and weaker down the list. 0-point factions don't cost any points, so you don't lose any points. +1 point factions gain you a point. So if you use these +1 factions, I think we have Lusitani, Odrysian, and Samaria. You use those factions, you actually gain a point. So you can work the point system that way.
Ooh, what is
And,
just?
it's-
Got some art. Got the article.
And so what we see there, because it's 10 points across the whole match, right? So we have 2 siege battles to begin with, and if there's no clear winner after those 2, i.e. they they win one each, it goes into a land battle that decides who is going to attack on the third and final siege battle. So what we saw in the most recent quarterfinal was that it went to a land battle where the teams picked factions that would actually gain them points. So they try to gather up points for that final siege battle.
Yeah.
And so that also introduced a very, very interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
And people
But
are
also,
surprised-
you want to win that land battle because you gain a point just for winning it, and then you get the decision to attack or defend on the final siege. So if you, even just going all the +1s, although they aren't that bad on land battle, they are susceptible to the ranged fire or cavalry charges. They have got huge weaknesses.
Well, except for a Drizzy.
Well,
Come charge my Thracian nobles, motherfucker.
Like,
it
people
depends
are
on the cavalry
surprised-
unit.
People are surprised that Lusitania is a +1 faction.
So I personally am a diehard fan. Lusitania is my favorite faction, and I love it on defense. But I understand why it's a +1 because it is such a high-risk faction.
Yeah.
Sure, if you get in combat with your veteran shield warriors, your Lusitania nobles, you will do epic amounts of damage. But if they sneeze on you, you're dead. Like,
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, and we don't forget in the tournament we're playing for the title, and we're playing for €100. So if you
that's
lose,
right.
it's really risky to bring Lusitania, because if you lose, it's over.
Yeah, strong infantry, but I mean they'd be useless if you just get shot. Like if someone's defending with Lusitania, you just group up your archers and you just take that entire player out. Especially the way people play nowadays in siege battles, where they make sure they always get their peeler off when they're engaged in combat. They've got units throwing peeler in. I mean, Lusitania just won't hold up against that. It's just way too risky.
You got
I
to
agree.
be really, really quick on your micro.
You gotta be really solid with it, yeah.
Johan, why do people not play Rome often in multiplayer? Because it's typically considered just too strong. Like yeah.
Too cost effective is, I think, the conclusion we arrive at.
And I mean, also you have to realize too that the more veteran you get as a player, the less likely you are to take those boring, handicapped factions.
Something
Like,
I've
where you need to handicap
Something
yourself
I've
with.
found with Rome, I feel like people when they play Rome, it makes them play stupid. Like
Not gonna win it.
you're like so confident about how good your infantry is that you just like do stupid things with them. And I feel like it's actually a really bad faction to learn the game with.
Yeah,
because
I think you
also
said
the
this
fun-
plenty of time pass, right? This has
All the
been
time.
one of your main arguments with Rome is it handicaps you as a player. You're not going to learn the game as well.
I agree.
Because
And honestly, I found like the more like I played, that honestly the more boring I thought Rome was, to be honest with you. I just think it's a little boring.
Like at all.
Every
barely
once in a while I'll
played
pull it
Rome.
out. It's like, you know what, I haven't played it in a while, and then I'll have fun with it. But then it's just kind of like, okay, well I did that. What do I do
now,
next?
Swaybe, for example.
Oh, I'm a big sweetie. For some reason I've gotten like
Swaybe fans in the house.
I've kind of turned into like this feeling like for some reason some of my favorite factions are all of these like really low armor aggressive factions, and I don't know why. Because I love Swaybe, I love Lusitania, I love Odrysian Kingdom. I don't know why I like Nervii, but I'm not like a diehard fan of it. But yeah, I don't know. I just have this
Like,
thing for
it's
light armored
risky,
factions.
It makes you play risky. It makes you
Higher risk, higher reward.
I also
That's
like.
what
I think
it
I feel like what I've learned is I'm a really aggressive player. I do not like factions that sit around and stand. I like factions that get into combat and go. And so I think that's why I like those those factions, because they are very, very aggressive.
Sure. And we just saw a Syrian archer route.
Yeah, we
looks
got
like-
some archers losing here.
Like the defenders start pushing back the attacking archers, and that's
Not good.
really, really not good. For
I
your
think the
country.
defenders have done a really good job at getting archers in multiple different places to fire into, you know what I mean? And I don't think the attackers did a very good job at reallocating counter archer fire to deal with those.
Free spears getting charged.
Yeah,
For free spears, you really want to get that charge off 26.
they're not going to do well.
Which is
even-
really, I always love that. I love spear units with good charge bonuses.
Oh yeah. Like the armor desert hoplite.
Yeah, what is it? What are they? 30
Yeah,
charge
30
bonus?
charge.
Beautiful.
They're really nice.
Multiplayer. Do we have the reverse battle? Like, I think he's asking if we're doing another one. I will be willing to do another one, but it's kind of up to the players, and then obviously.
So they said we're going into this battle, thinking of having 10 points. Like
so
normally,
like
if
a game
people
one.
Yeah. So if people do scrims, sometimes they only have time for one battle, so they
Ooh,
both use 5 points.
where they act like they've already used some points in a previous
Yeah.
battle. Gotcha. Which
But
makes
now
sense.
now they went for 10 points. So I think, and they said they're willing to do some
Okay.
extra battles after. So.
And I know that I know that some players have talked about doing like they've done skirmishes where okay, we're going to do skirmish, and the situation is we've used 7 points, we only have 3 points for blah blah blah, and I think that's a really good idea too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's just nice. I think the whole point system's just really changed siege battles in general. Before it's been so just
Yeah, I saw
it's
that.
always just Galatia or
Cookie cutter.
Vermi or just
Very
Kush.
Yeah.
It's always
And
the same factions constantly, and with the point system, I think people are having a lot more fun because they're
I would
actually
agree.
playing other factions.
And
And I think it's really more interesting as well.
I
to
think
watch.
we've also previous to that we kind of brought out the random factions. And I think that has been a lot of fun as well, but the issue with that one is that you run the chance that someone gets royally fucked.
So that's the issue of the random wheel.
But I do think the random wheel is a lot of fun to kind of
it
throw in that I don't know, roll the dice, see what
Yeah,
happens.
exactly.
But for
It is
competitive,
fun.
I don't.
No,
think that
you're
would-
absolutely right. For competitive,
Yeah,
you can't.
you can't have random stuff.
What do
for
you mean,
competitive.
Will?
It
You
needs
don't
to
want
be
to play it?
So I've
Yeah.
come up with this idea that I want to run by you guys. I thought about this a while back, and I think you guys would be good at kind of helping me streamline it, or even see if it's a possibility. So I want to do something similar to the hot seat, but what I want to do is give each player a sort of faction list that they can then choose from. Maybe it's randomized. You get a random 5 factions for yourself, and from that point throughout the tournament, you can use said factions in each battle. But after you've used the faction, they're done. They're gone. You can no longer use that faction. And I think it'd be a really fun thing. It's similar to in Age of Empires. In a lot of tournaments, once you use a faction, you can no longer use that faction anymore. And I think it'd be kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah, it makes for an interesting scenario, right? Because you're going to have to decide when to whip out the faction.
Yep.
Play strategically.
Yeah, I mean the biggest problem with that, Ellington, that I can see is you have people names that you're going to go against, and you're going to take your best faction against them. Those players will always get the best faction against them as their good factions slowly dwindle away. The other players will be able to just bully them with all of the high tier factions that they get. If that makes sense.
No, I hear you.
Not if there are
Like,
good enough players.
Well, okay, let's just throw out a scenario here. Then you have you have Fight Me playing with 5 factions at his disposal, and the first player he goes in with has Rome. Right, so Fight Me has to play a faction that can counter, or at least do well against Rome. Beats the Roman player, and the next player has Galatia, and they know Fight Me's a good player, so they play Galatia, and it just sort of spirals in that direction.
Sure.
Sure, yeah. But I think it could be worth a try.
Oh yeah.
You should give it a go either way.
It could be fun for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
can
guys are just trying to yeah, man. Oh, I think it's a great idea.
No, no.
I'm just.
I mean, I think it'd be fun, but if you're doing like a tournament, I feel like it would be. I don't think it would be a very competitive tournament, forcing people to play with weird factions like.
But speaking of the hot seat masters, we were talking about how important that land battle
Oh, it was.
is, and how it was now in these quarterfinals that we just saw. That land battle honestly decided who was gonna go through there, and
Ooh, hey,
lo and
look,
behold, the
are we doing
team
here?
that won the land
Orders
battle
understood.
were
Advance at speed.
consisting of 2 hot seat masters.
yeah,
so,
man. And that's something that
Yeah,
I've
the-
really like enjoyed with the hot. So the reason I kind of did it was I kind of came to the realization that, and Baby Jesus, you can attest to this. Land battles do shit as replays. They just
Yeah,
They
people
just-
don't like watching them.
I think it's the speed. I think it's that,
Yeah.
I think people like the siege battles because they're doing their homework. Let me throw on the siege battle and just let it play as, I can kind of But the land battles are so quick and so you're over here, and it's only, 15, 20 minutes long.
very intense. Very
Yes.
You can't see
Explosive.
get fancy shots too often in land
Right.
battles. You have to really be on point, seeing what's happening.
But I also think that
yeah.
siege battles as streams do not do nearly as well because, you can do a 5-hour stream and with land battles you can do 15, 20 land battles.
Yeah.
But in 5 hours you can hopefully do 2 sieges.
You should.
hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, you would hope to do more than 2, but man, like with Rome, you know how it is. Between lag and setup and in hour-long games, it's just hard,
Yeah, and it is
Yeah,
a
I
bit of a shame that land battles have like lost popularity a little bit, or have not been as popular.
I think you all know here that I love land battles. I find them a lot more interesting than siege. But yeah, I think the majority of the community just prefer siege battles. And I can see why. I mean, siege is fun to
It's
watch.
fun.
and
I think it's a little chill, to
Open
turn it on and watch.
yeah.
It's chill.
Yeah, well, I mean, it
methodical, right?
depends who you're playing with, Ellington. If you play with Fight
No, I mean like watching it. I mean watching it. Like when you're watching a siege battle, I feel like
Yeah.
you can kind of chill a little bit. You're not
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have
I understand.
Bib says,
and
I do my homework to your battles just because my homework is more interesting.
Oh no, biblical. Just remember, Ellington. You changed
You're
your
no
name to
longer
Sir
Sir Bibbs. You're no longer welcome on my quest to take the city of Jerusalem.
touche.
Burn him at
You
the
could ask
stake.
General. Going for Mercedes General.
Ooh, yeah.
Could be risky though.
Yeah, could have got bogged down there.
I think it could. I don't know. Maybe with the archer.
Get some archer fire on him too.
But yeah, no. Going back to the whole land battle siege thing is, I think an issue about streaming siege battles are it takes a long time to set up before you
Yes.
actually get involved, and then even when you get involved, in the siege, you still have to set up your units and wait for the attack
Yep.
to set up.
I mean,
It's
you're
all
talking
very
like a
time
20,
consuming.
25-minute setup thing. At
If you're lucky, yeah.
least,
And then but then you have like a big battle that lasts a while, so it's not too bad in that sense. It's just the setup that takes a long time.
Yes.
There is something to like a very exciting ending of a siege battle
Yes.
too.
Yeah,
You
pretty
add
intense.
5 minutes.
Like you
of
have committed.
You're
the
like, oh
whole
my
day.
god,
Oh yeah, it's a thing of beauty.
Now, real quick, I would like to cast a spotlight here on some people here. So, obviously, we have some co-commentators on this one. And real quick, I want to point out, so Candor, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I've just recently started making some cool videos.
Hey,
here.
Royal, real quick, can you put a link to Candor, Willem,
Played the
and
game for
Baby
a long
Jesus
time,
Switch?
Love the game and decided to try to share that love a little bit. And I love cinematic stuff, so I've tried to incorporate a lot of cinematic sequences and epic close-up and stuff like that in these videos, and it's been a lot of fun.
I will say
Yeah.
Rome 2 has some fantastic cinematics. It's a beautiful game.
Beautiful game.
And then Willem, you want to introduce yourself?
So I'm also known as Fight Me. I also just started a YouTube channel, and I'm also mostly like covering the tournament that is playing right now. I guess happening right now.
Oh, you're organizing it.
Yeah, I'm organizing the tournament, I dragged out 100 euros of my pocket. But, I mean, I find it the 100 euros worth it. Honestly, like I like it. I like to see everyone just competitive, playing the matches, trying to really win the matches. Like I love that.
Willem
I
is
wanna see more of
also a hot seat master.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he is a pretty sweaty player. I would say.
Don't forget that.
The sweatiest of the sweats.
And then finally, Baby Jesus.
Oh god. Yeah.
Honestly, people on the channel should know Baby Jesus by now from co-commentating with the hot seat and such, being our boss, our big boss.
Resident land battle specialist.
What is happening over here?
Yes, Command Riders, advance.
But yeah, go ahead, Baby Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say really. I used to stream on Twitch until I stopped about 2 months for now, but I'll be back on it shortly. Hopefully soon. But yeah, if you like land battles, you can come check me out on Twitch.
You were recently doing some Warhammer stuff, right?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of campaigns for Warhammer actually. Yeah.
Now, are you excited for Warhammer 3?
Yeah, I would like to see how they go with it. I'm hoping the siege battles are improved. Because I'm not gonna lie, the siege
With
battles
the what was it when they got their new he wasn't like the new CEO, but they got a new like one of the head guys of like CA England, which is the one that like handles Total War. They got like a new head dude, and after he came in, he specifically said that they are taking a deep dive look into the siege battles of Warhammer, and I really hope,
that does sound promising, because then you could actually beat some siege battles from Warhammer.
God, I would honestly, I like Warhammer. I'm a huge fan of the lore, and that was really what drew me to it. I love the Warhammer like world, and I do think that it is a good game, man. I do think it is. Like, honestly,
yeah,
I think
it's solid. It's not.
Yes.
It's really not a bad game. I mean, it's fantasy, and I mean, I don't mind them, being all fancy with the fantasy, because it's, it's Warhammer.
And they own it.
It
They
makes
own
sense.
that it is a
It's
true
fine.
it is a fantasy game, and I think that is what they have to do, is just say like, this is a fantasy game and own what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
Three Kingdoms tried to, and Three Kingdoms of Detroit, they just tried to do. They tried to do both, and it was just awkward and weird. And
Yeah, but it's like they picked those time periods to just experiment with the historical player base if they could get them into like the fantasy style
Yes.
of gameplay, and it's horrible. It's really, really horrible. I feel like it might have
What I
backfired,
don't-
but I bet they still made a lot of money from Three
Yes.
Kingdoms.
What I don't understand is that, like, they pick these. I feel like they pick these. They've been picking these, like, eras or, like, things they want to focus on that brings them way too much work, if that makes sense. Like, with Troy, they pick something from the Bronze Age that we barely know anything about. It's so, like, muddled in, like, historical mythology that, like, they pick something that was so much. Now they have to figure out what to do with it. If you pick a historical thing, it's written for you. History's already made. Like, so, like, all you have to do is make the game. You know what I mean? You don't have to fill in the blanks because they're already there. And same thing with Warhammer. It is a written thing. It is already there. So why, like, so all they have to do with, never mind. Also, all they have to do is just make the game around it, And I just feel like they just, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, Warhammer. I mean, I've been saying this quite a lot in the classes Discord about Warhammer.
Did you
like,
put
there's
on
so much lore there.
Candor and Willem? Is that what those other ones?
Developers could make just like great games out of the fantasy Warhammer and the 40k Warhammer, because it's all there. There's so much lore and depth to it, and once you delve into it, it does draw you in. And I think the one issue.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think the one issue I had personally with Warhammer Total War was I just felt it was a bit too arcadey, colourful. I would have
Yes,
liked
I
a
agree.
bit grittier, darker feel to
Agree.
it. 'Cause I think that's what Warhammer's about.
And
it's
they're
just
also really
darker
fast
and grittier.
paced.
Now I do think
Like-
that the game, honestly, the game's beautiful. Like, it is a gorgeous game. I think it's also might be a little lazy, if that makes sense. I just feel like everything looks the same in a way. Like, a lot of you look at like a unit in Warhammer, and every man in the unit just kind of looks carbon copy, and I don't know, that's a little boring and a little lazy, I feel.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah,
I would love a little bit of variety, you know. I remember when Medieval 2 first came out, I remember like being like amazed and just like, oh my god, because just the fact that like the horses were different colors, the shields were different, the armor was a little, you know, you look at like a cavalry unit and every person looked different.
Details.
And there are no animations, right? Or maybe some.
Well, there are
There's some.
sync
there's some.
animations between like monsters and stuff, and like monsters and infantry, but between infantry against infantry, I think it's. I don't think there's any
God,
real
Royal.
synced animations, but it's. I mean, I'm not that bothered by it in Warhammer because there's so much.
And they're also so fast paced, the battles.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, they're going so fast,
yeah,
and
they
there's
can
so
be.
much chaos. That's also one thing.
Yeah.
Like, chaos.
yeah,
there,
magic.
spells
and-
here, spells there.
I
don't
will
like
say,
the spell.
for Warhammer 3, the one thing I'm excited for, Kislev. I'm so pumped for Kislev. For me, it's the reason why is because I remember one of the first books that I think the first book I ever read from Warhammer was called Riders of the Dead. And it is a book about, it's like a semi-empire, Kislev book where they're fighting the Northmen, and it just sticks into my head, the winged lancers of Kislev, and
Yeah.
it just, you know, it's one of those books where it's just like permanently imprinted the like imagination of like imagining what they look like. And so I was so pumped to be like, oh my god, now I'm gonna get to see you know, and so I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, it should be good.
I just saw that Three Kingdoms got an update.
Yeah.
Yeah,
supposed
Fate's
to,
divided.
Yeah, I don't know the
That's not
game,
really
so
No, I'm
I
not too
don't-
interested. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even own the game. So.
I'm not gonna
I'm trying
try.
to figure out if it's worth getting at like.
No, I just wouldn't, man. It's
Yeah.
disappointing. It really is. Especially, it's so painful to like. So I feel like Rome 2 is such a nice spot, to be honest, in the
I
Total
agree.
War game. I mean, the battles are. I mean, it's got its own issues and bugs and stuff, but I think the battles are at a
You
decent.
can work around them.
But I do think,
Yeah,
honestly, I said this in a stream, I think that the golden age of CA right now, or of Total War right now, is Shogun. Shogun 2.
Shogun 2, I completely agree. Shogun
It
2
is.
incredible.
I think it is, when it comes to games that work, like it works. You know what I mean? Like the game works. That's the biggest thing. Like it really doesn't have a whole lot of like quirky bug things, and like it's a gorgeous game. I do think that it honestly is kind of the tippity top of Total War games as of now. And I you know, people are probably going to give me shit for this, but I honestly think that Warhammer's right behind it.
Well, so for me, I mean, the battles in Warhammer, I don't mind. I think they're pretty good. I think the campaign is where Warhammer games really, really shine. So I think the campaign is the best bit for it, because that's where you get the most variation between factions, because of the unique abilities during the campaign. But for Shogun 2, I feel like it lacks in the campaign compared to Warhammer.
Sure.
But it makes up in multiplayer. I mean, yes, it's just based
It
around
is so
Japan,
fun. It is so fun.
But the maps that were great, the fact you could actually customize your general and his abilities to get veteran units and stuff. They
With
actually
what are they? The Avatar Conquest, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually put effort into the multiplayer, trying to entice people
And
in.
I'm honestly a little sad that they pretty much dropped it. They just kind of.
They went to Rome 2 and it was just gone. It was just standard land battles.
I would do
again.
Ono
And I think
Royal.
it was a real, missed opportunity to make Total War unique in that way. But that's not taking anything away from the land battle. Sorry, the battles in Rome too. I think the battles in the current state that they are now are really enjoyable to play.
In Shogun
issues,
or Rome?
still-
In Rome too.
No, in
Rome
Rome,
too.
as well,
Okay,
Rome.
gotcha. Sorry.
I think in Shogun 2 I really enjoyed. I think the battles are fantastic as well, and I like the whole rock paper scissors concept to the units where spear smash cavalry, and swords smash spears and stuff. And
Bib says this battle is more like a background video for the podcast.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like I love covering the battles and stuff, but honestly, I love this too. I think this brings a lot to things. Especially, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's be honest. We're at a part of the battle where it's been done for a little while, so like we can do this, you know.
Yeah.
What's up?
We try to do these co-commentating battles, and it's so much more fun. I think.
I completely agree.
Commentators and viewers, it gets into that podcast territory.
Yes.
And
honestly, I think people appreciate that.
Yeah, and with a game like Rome, which just has
it's a little slow. There's a lot of grind, and you have to fill it in.
And you know, we're all huge Rome 2 nerds.
Yes.
So it's also something that you can nerd.
So I got a question for you guys. So who here saw the thing about somebody in the records office in England found that CA just recently has filed for oh my gosh, I'm having complete brain fog.
Medieval?
The specifically called Total War Medieval, which is not what Medieval Total War is called.
Yeah.
The original game, or not the original, but you know what I mean. The original Medieval was called Medieval Total War. So CA has just recently asked for or filed for what is the word for it? Trademark on Total War Medieval. So what are your guys' thoughts on? I know what my thoughts are, and I don't know what the legitimacy of it is. But what do you think?
I'm pumped for it, but I don't know what to expect.
Well, do you think that it is that they are filing for, that they are now ramping up for the game after Warhammer 3 to be the next Medieval? Is that your thoughts?
I'm really worried because they haven't quite gotten off the fantasy hype train yet. And the historical players
but what I mean, do you think that that's what that is? Like, because there's a lot of debate. There's no confirmation that is what that means. That the next game will be Total War Medieval. We don't know that for a fact. But do you think?
Surprised, to be honest, if it is.
If it is,
I'd be super surprised if they're making another Medieval because for starters, I remember they always said they weren't going to make a third of any of them. And I'm just hoping deep down inside they don't make a Medieval Total War.
I like the sound of that for sure, but after the recent titles, I'm afraid
even
to get
though
my
I feel like they aren't going to make one for a long time to come. And if they do, it'll be some probably like Saga title based in like some small time period around it, and it'll probably involve like Robin Hood, like soloing my entire army. So
Robin Hood shoots down at the entire enemy.
No, exactly. That's the thing. I think Cass was just going to say, but I interrupted him. Was the fact they are stuck in this fantasy, period that they're
maybe Rusty. That might be
the historical titles. And and everyone's saying, oh, I really want them to make a medieval game, but I don't think they're taking into account that these developers are going to make it, with fantasy elements. And I think they need to step away from that before they go anywhere near a proper historical title.
I would like to see a Saga game that is so like a Thrones type game. I would like to see a Thrones type game that comes out and shows us that and I think they will do that before they put out, because they've shown that that's what they do now is they put out a Saga game, and the Saga game they use it to test like the new concepts that they're trying to do for their next mainstream game. And so I feel like I would like to see a Saga game that comes out, maybe it's a limited little small thing that shows us that they have the ability to, like you said, step away from fully step out of the zone of this whole like fantasy weird quirky janky thing that they've been doing.
Yeah.
And before they put out a full thing.
Yeah. For all we know, though, this trademark could also be just it's like a
It could
board
be
game.
nothing. Yeah,
It could be
like
whatever.
somebody in the chat said, someone might be trying to do a medieval thing, so maybe they're just trying to secure the copyright so that they can fully.
It could be,
Could be, yeah.
complete legalese thing.
And the thing that
one can always dream.
the one thing that the thing that would really surprise me if they are true about, like if that is true that they are going to make a Total War, the one thing that surprises me about that simply is the fact 1212.
Yeah.
I think 1212 it's an excellent mod. It is very, very good. It looks beautiful. It really fixes a lot of the things that I think Attila lacks. And I think that I'd be really surprised if CA really wanted to try and compete with it.
Yes, but it's like for playing 1212, you need to get like all the mods in, all the things. Like if Total War is gonna release Medieval, like there will be way more people playing it. And
Now, if they were smart, they would hire the team.
Exactly.
Yes, that is something I've said so many times. It's like, hire these people. Like,
exactly, they're putting so much work.
and
in.
like what they're putting, I'm sorry, but what they're doing for free is better than what you're doing for paid. I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah. So, Pacifist, you have some experience here with the modding community. You were involved with DEI when
No, I seen he
when
did.
it first. Pacifist still here? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
He's hiding.
And yeah, I mean, it's not that they haven't reached out to like offer these.
Royal,
people
they kind of do with
jobs
the
and people. I don't think
partners.
they offer like a realistic wage, and I feel like once they offer once, then they get turned down, and they kind of discourage from asking.
I agree,
'cause
Royal.
A lot of
I
these
agree.
People are making. They're not trying to make money off of the mods that they're making. They're doing it as like a passion project,
I agree.
and then, I mean.
So
whenever you
they're
have
willing
people-
to. They put in the time. They want to make They want to make something they will be proud of.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, and I don't think you'll find bigger nerds than the modders as far as like trying to make it as especially like a mod like DEI. They're trying to make it as historical as possible, as balanced as possible. Like they are going.
Something I
into
noted.
it.
So Boss brings up 1212 is cool, but you run out of campaign goals too quickly. Once you get 10 settlements, it gets kind of stale. And I think that brings up like a really good point about most Total War games, and that is settlement selection.
Mhm.
And the fact that like once you you have like 15 settlements that all look the same spread around the map. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you get in multiplayer, you have a list of settlements you can use, and then you get to the point of trimming out settlements that are too like one-sided. So then that list gets smaller, and even on that list, you have a lot of settlements that look exactly the same. And then it comes into the thing that a lot of Total War games, you can't mod maps. So your maps are screwed. You, once again, are stuck with the same maps, the same shit. And that is, honestly, I think the biggest thing that lacks from things like 1212.
Yes.
Yes, the units and everything look great.
Yeah, I
but-
think one of the main things Bass is getting on there is the fact that Total War campaigns become stale quite quickly, in the sense that not due to maps, but due to just on the actual campaign map, what you can do, especially on the historical side, which is once like the early game for me in any Total War title, I think is the most exciting and most interesting part of the campaign.
Yeah.
But once you get past that early stage, and you get into just the grind of just building armies, as always, and plus you can't, you just build sort of similar armies just so to win, just because you want to end you just want to end the campaign. You just want to get rid of it, get it over and done with, start a new one, because you want that initial starting phase again of expanding correctly, having these awkward situations, and there's ways to fix that in Total War, and I found
sorry.
So I was going to say,
gonna
I found on it, and as much hate that Thrones of Britannia gets for Total War, I think it actually has quite a fun campaign for historical.
I love.
Besides,
There's a
the
good
recruit,
mod-
I think
there's
the
a good
recruitment
mod in
system
Thrones
is really
too.
good for it.
The
Sorry,
Shield Wall mod seems pretty promising for Thrones 2. I tried the campaign, and it's definitely a lot better than vanilla.
I think that
I was going to say we have some interesting input from chat here, actually.
yes.
Sohan is saying, I talked to Republic of Play, Darren Total War, about his time at CA, and apparently the modder they hired, guy that made a population mod for Rome 2, totally changed his mind on campaign depth. And Wretched Egg is saying they network with influencers, but they don't necessarily listen to their feedback.
Exactly. Like partners, they do things with like partners, which are people. I think it's 6,000 subs and up. You can become a partner, and they do like little. I think I don't remember what they call it, like little chat-in type things where people can bring their feedback and so on and so forth. But I don't think it really holds that much weight, to be honest. Because, like, let's be honest, like, Pixelated Apollo is the largest Total War YouTuber out there. His 780,000 subs right now. And he criticizes the games all the time. And I guarantee that he has made comments to them about things. And they haven't changed them. So, like, if someone like him makes comments, you know, somebody that big says something and they don't do anything about it, then, like...
I think the main issue is also that it's not necessarily the influencers that will
I
have
agree,
the best input.
Rusty.
It's usually the competitive players and the real hardcore players in general. It doesn't even have to be competitive players. It's like the players with 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 hours. It could be campaign play. Like those are the players you want to get some input from, and that's just not happening.
Right. And that's something like I can't wait till I'm to that point, because I want to get my input on things, and you know, and I don't, I mean, like, obviously it's, you know, 6,000 subs, congratulations, I want you to do this.
You heard him. Let's get him up to 6,000. Let's
we're halfway there.
Easy.
I'll tell you what, we did, you know, I did 2,500 in the first year, and I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. You know, hoping by the end of the year, I'd like to be at 5 by the end of the year. You know.
Well, most of all, I think you've built a really good community here, Ellington, and you should have a
solid community. Actually,
pat
I
yourself
appreciate
on the back for that, for sure.
All right, patted. All right, 3 pats. Got it. Yeah, and I just
I actually do have to go now, unfortunately.
Candor, pleasure having you, man.
A lot of fun. Let's do this again sometime.
Yeah, I love having you. Is anybody?
Right, see you later, guys.
Is anybody staying?
Candor, sleep well.
I'm going to. It's getting also late for me.
All right, that's all right, Willem.
All right. So.
What time is it there for you guys?
It'd be
so
1,
1
2,
a.m.
1, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 12 for me.
Yeah, Rusty said CA has... Oh, wait. Hold on. CA really needs competition. They have gotten too lax. A game developer needs to hit them where it hurts their wallets, stealing their customers away with a better game. I agree. Like, there's at this point in time, there's no sort of... There's nothing really. Like, obviously Manor Lord's coming out, but Manor Lord's...
that looks good. Yeah.
It does, but it also looks very much like, you know, Total War back in the day, you know what I mean? Which means it's very early on, and I can, you know, definitely think that if it can be successful, I think that its future could be very bright, you know what I mean? So I got a question for who do we got left? I know Baby Jesus and Pacifist, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
So, what next Total War game? What do you want? Like, what game do you want?
If they go down the historical route, I think that if they go down the historical route and they make a lot of people angry, like they have with Troy and Three Kingdoms, and how that kind of scene is, those games have kind of flopped in the multiplayer scene. And if they make another game similar to that where it flops, I think their company could go under when it comes to historical fan base. We're not going to trust them anymore. Like, they don't have a good grasp of what this part of the community wants.
I agree.
And I really hope that they can fix that, but I really don't want them touching a historical title because all they're going to do at this point is to disappoint.
Okay.
And that scares me because this is one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing Total War since I can remember, and I've loved it almost all the time. And I remember when Shogun 2 came out, I just became obsessed with the multiplayer. And then Rome 2 came out, rough start. Not gonna lie.
Oh, it
had
did,
a rough
yeah.
patch. But in the state, it got to really good, and I had so much promise for them. And obviously, Attila and stuff, they had their own separate issues, but they were decent. But yeah, I just found it was a shocking change to me. Was they went from Thrones of Britannia to Free Kingdoms,
Yeah,
and the
like,
change
what
was
is this?
drastic. And that came. What was it? When did Warhammer? Did Warhammer come out before Thrones? I guess it did, right?
Yes, Warhammer 1 did, and then I think Warhammer 2 was after.
That's kind of. I can't think because I don't understand. Did that actually influence them to make Free Kingdoms the way it was and that sort of stuff? I just don't know. And I'm so worried about the Total War historical franchise now.
I agree.
Especially since Troy. Now that, because at least in Free Kingdoms there was an option for turning off romance mode.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it was meant to be played. They didn't make that game without romance. It was built from the romance mode upwards.
I think
onwards,
that
if that makes sense.
I think Thrones was so close to being just a fantastic game. I think the issue with it is it's too limited. It's too small. I think would have been what they should have done with it. I think they could have expanded to other regions. Like expand into France or go have something in in the Scandinavia. I think there are a lot of options there that they could have done with that game, and I think they just abandoned it. You know what I mean? I think they said, God, what's the fucking name of it? Oh my God, I have a complete brain fart. What is Shogun? It's or not Shogun, Thrones of Britannia. It's a Saga. Sorry.
Saga title, yeah. Sorry.
And they're it's a Saga. Or we don't need to do anything more, right? And which sucks. I think that game could have been excellent. And I feel bad because Hermes says, "I like how we played the game," and no one talked about it afterwards.
Well,
I'm sorry,
I do feel
Hermes.
we went on a massive tangent.
I thought we were
we
were on a
stuck
thing. You know what I mean? I feel like
We were
we
talking
do.
about stuff.
Maybe we should do a podcast, guys. You know what I mean? I think we. Anyone?
You could do, yeah. I think Canda's voice would be good for it.
You guys are just like. Eh.
I mean, talking's not my strong suit. I just sit here quietly and people forget that I'm in the chat.
Duke says he is hoping
Yeah.
for a Victoria/19th century Total War mod, so looking 1820s to 1900, full world map.
Yeah, I mean that could work. I don't want to go too
think-
modern though. I think that
think-
just wouldn't work if they go too modern.
I think what would we? God, I can't talk. What would be better would be, and I've said this before. I think Empire 2. Like,
Yeah,
if
Empire 2
they're
would be
gonna go
solid,
there,
actually.
if they're going to go there, Empire 2, and this will be perfect for the way CA likes to play their games. Empire 2 with multiple DLCs, including things like Napoleon. Maybe I think a Civil War DLC for an Empire Total War would be awesome. Then you could
Pike
even
and
throw.
Shot. Sorry, Pike and Shot
Yep.
got mentioned in the chat.
Mhm.
That's something also I think would be great.
But I think once again, I think a Pike and Shot would be a perfect kind of DLC for an Empire.
Mm.
And then finally, like a Zulu, a Zulu DLC. But the way CA or the way Total War likes to, do their put out the game, then DLC, I think that'd be perfect for them. So we got to ban Tylus, ban Rome. Baby Jesus, or who's in the Fight Me's still in the lobby.
Yes. I will now leave. I forgot.
Okay, and then does Baby Jesus, do you want to in?
I
Yeah.
don't think I'll be able to stay
Okay,
for the whole
that's
fight.
all right.
So
No problem.
I'll probably be heading off actually in a little bit.
That's all right.
But I thought
I'm
I'd
heading
I'd
off
stick
now.
around for a little bit.
All right,
And
Willem,
good
we'll
night,
see you later,
Cavalry.
buddy. Thanks.
And have a good night.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night, family.
Iceni says, pacifist, give me constructive criticism. And go.
Wait,
I
who
know
said that?
Iceni. I know what mine would be for the attackers. What my criticism would be.
Yeah, but Zach or Iceni was on.
Oh, he was defense. Okay, then. Never mind.
Yeah, so I mean, constructive criticism for Hermes would definitely be you guys were a little too
Speed.
passive with your attack. And
Yes.
I don't know. It felt like you guys held back and didn't really push hard enough. You kind of didn't share your love with your Galatian troops that much.
Attackers, pick Arverni.
Ooh, looks like they might need another player.
I thought they had somebody in here.
They did, but it looks like they dipped. Joseph's messaging me
see.
to try to
Well, there's
find another person to
there's
play real quick.
There's someone in their little team there, in the team chat.
Who is it?
Manny.
Yeah, that's the person that was just in there. He was Offenberg.
Oh.
I'm
Well,
trying
Bloody
to see
might
if
play. He's there
Mr.
as well.
Stick will play. Yeah. He is AFK.
So Duke, the reason he brings it up because you have the Crimean War, the American Civil War, the Franco-Prussian War, Zulu War, the Sudan Wars, and the Boer. Is that Boer? Is that how? I don't know how to say that.
Boer.
Boer?
Boer?
The Boer. Is that how you say it?
Boer. That's how I
Okay.
pronounce it. Yeah. Boer.
Okay. As DLCs, I'm assuming he's saying for like for an empire. Godfather says he can hop in. Let me.
Well, I know Mr. Bubbles has played with Iceni before. That would be a good person to throw in there. Maybe some previous coordination. Although I have no
okay.
idea who Godfather is. I don't know if Bubbles can even. I just saw that Bubbles was in chat.
Yeah, he is. Well, now, wait, now he's back in.
Who, Monty? Offenberg.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
You see, I don't know if he's sure. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out why. I was trying to put the point system on, and I saved it to my files, but when I go to find it in OBS, it is not there.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know
Well, I'm
why.
sure no one would be too angry if you tapped out to try to figure it out.
That's
right
what
now.
I'm trying to do, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're just trying to find another person
And even
to play.
right now,
and
I don't
finish the
see
pick
it. What the
ban.
fuck? Alright, let's try a different way. Because I'd like to give them, an idea of what's going on. It's like I'm saving it, and then it just disappears into the ether.
Wow, Mr. Bubbles says, I'm unavailable.
Ooh.
How dare you, Mr. Bubbles?
Ooh. Literally, this thing is like, what the hell is happening?
I'll be back
Oh,
in like
what the hell?
a minute.
Did it? Maybe let's try this. All right, I think I got it. All right, so I'm going to put up the faction list here, and all of a sudden it's so quiet.
I am back.
Welcome
Did
back.
they ever find like a third that's actually going to play?
I don't know. I've been tabbed out, sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, so Baby Jesus,
Yeah.
All right,
do you
guys.
think CA could do anything to improve the land battles so that Siege players would enjoy them more? Like, I know you have a lot of experience with land battles, but I don't like them.
Didn't you say? I think I also read in the chat that it's probably potentially the pace.
Yeah, I agree
The
with
pace
that.
to them. it can sometimes be a little bit too fast. I think also units, they fought for longer, so yeah, could actually use flanking maneuvers more and stuff like that. But it's it's difficult, really. I mean, there needs to be more impact on flanking. There needs to be. It's hard to actually explain. I'm not really too sure. I think DEI did a pretty good job.
What are
on
you
that,
playing,
to be honest
Bubbles?
with
Are you playing Rome?
They slowed
Yeah,
it
I
down.
like DI land battles, but
Yeah, they slowed it down. They made elites not.
Thanks
like,
so much for coming,
ridiculous, 'cause
Willem.
if
We'll
you
see you
surround
later.
an elite unit in DEI, it can break. I would also like better formations for
Yes,
units
I
and
agree.
stuff like that. Really,
I feel like
more
formations
control
should
over your
have an
units,
impact
stuff like
on
that would be great.
combat.
But yeah, maybe slow the pace down a little bit. That's one issue ahead with Shogun 2. Although I didn't mind it at the time, was with Shogun 2, the land battles were super fast. Like, you think
Yeah, I
Renko
agree.
is fast, like Shogun 2 is faster.
Yeah,
Like, you
definitely.
engage and it's almost done within like 30 seconds of the unit fighting.
Got Iceni picks Seleucid. So attackers, we've got Seleucid and Arverni, and now it'll be a defender pick.
Ellington, could you move the chat to where it's visible out, like
Yeah,
out of the? That way, everybody can see what they're picking and stuff.
I sat there and just tried to move it in OBS. It doesn't work that way.
Oh, just move it to the left and
Yeah, I
it'll,
got
be
it.
visible.
I went into OBS and I moved the faction thing a little bit, and then I tried to move the chat box. Royal Athenian wants to know, can you pick the same faction twice? I don't believe so.
Yeah,
You can, really?
yeah. So if you have enough points, you can pick the faction as many times as you want, so long as they're not
So
not
you could literally
banned
go,
or occupied by someone else.
interesting.
Or do you mean if they it can't be double factions. Once you have one faction on the field, you can't have it.
No,
more
yeah,
than once.
I think that's what he was saying. You're like, oh, we
Like
pick,
in one game.
we pick Iceni.
Oh,
Now we
yeah,
pick
no, you
Iceni
can't.
again.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
God, come on, pessimist. God. So I feel like, oh yeah, now that Cander's left, I feel, man, like, what are we gonna do?
Oh, I know. Like, now I have to speak. You can't just be mesmerized by other people talking. Romulus, you already
he
know
says
my
no.
answer. You definitely should get sushi. There is no other option.
All right, so defenders pick Bactria, and then right on the bat, ban Nabatea. Nabatea. What points did they use? Did anybody remember in the first battle?
Hold on 1 second. Let me think. I wasn't paying too much attention because
defenders had Carthage. So defenders had Carthage, Bactria, and Macecily. So 2 points, 4 points. What else did I say? Carthage, Bactria. So they used 4 points, so they have 6. The attackers used Massilia, Athens, so that's 2, and Galatia. So 5 and 4. So we have 5 and 6 is the. So now the attackers. The attackers have 6 points, and they have picked Arverni and Seleucids. So 4 points. So they have 2 points left, while the defenders have. Let me see. They took Carthage and Bactria. So they have used 2 points. That's it. So they have 3 left. Jay Minton says Chimeria is probably +1 because they have no infantry with Javies and are not flexible at all.
That is correct.
Yes. Why is Cavalry a +1 faction? Don't they have really good... Yes, they have really good archers, but that's pretty much it. Cavalry nobles honestly aren't... They're not bad, but like the fact that they lack any sort of like melee sword or axe infantry besides,
Young axes.
young axes, which are absolute junk.
That's one of the best units in the game.
Shut
please.
up. I don't want you here anymore. OT, what's going on? We are
Oh, come on!
watching
Don't bully the
some-
young axe. It's
Ooh, a Swaby pick.
Oh, I love Swaby.
But yeah, no. The Sumerian noble infantry also have is it only 80 armor, right?
I think it is 80, yeah.
Yeah.
And what are they? They're 11. I can't remember what they cost.
I think they
I
cost
think they're like 11.
just over 1,000, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
They're not too expensive.
No, and they're not too bad. I think they've got is it over 40 attack, I think, as well. It's,
Yeah,
their attack
they've got a
too
pretty
bad,
they've got a
but-
pretty good melee attack for a hoplite unit.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Royal Athenian. Young axes do look good though. That is probably not something you should say.
Yeah, I was gonna
Ever.
say that's. I mean, that's an opinion that you can indeed have.
I'm just teasing, Royal.
I'm not. Now, Sacred Band, though, if you want to talk about a good-looking unit,
Duke says, I am watching this and putting off going shopping down under. Is that like a reference? Like a innuendo? Like, I don't know what that means.
I don't really know what that means either.
Ah, yes, Bass, I completely agree. Caucus, I did mention that Caucus should be a -5 pointer, but everyone was disagreeing with me. That is probably one of the best factions in the game. There's Colkey enables. Beautiful.
Dirty. Dirty, dirty. Are the in sieges, are the nomadic factions any good?
I'd say no.
Royal says, I mean, they look good physically. And I say, Royal, I still say that's probably not something you should ever say out loud.
You're talking about a Rome 2 unit model.
I'm more talking about the fact that they're called young axes, and he thinks they look good.
Well, apparently he's gonna dig himself a grave here and die in it.
So, wait, what? Jay Minton, how are Colchian nobles not even 1,000? It's insane. I agree.
Oh, they're just so good. Caucus, best faction in the game. To be honest, Caucus is actually a really good land battle
like it.
faction. It's not too bad.
I like Colchis. I like the axe options you get. Now we lost 2 people.
We lost 2? Well, I mean, I did ask one of the people to come in and see if they needed him. And he may have shown up or not, I don't know.
All right, so defenders have Massaicily, hold on, Massaicily, Carthage, and Bactria. Sorry. And defenders have Suebi, Seleucids, and Arverni.
They have all these factions chosen, but nobody to play them.
You all right, OT?
Yeah, I'm glad to see the point system is working pretty well.
I mean, that was the whole purpose, was to get some of these lesser seen factions on the field in the hands of good players as well, because we always see from competitive tournaments is people only ever taking the factions that will most likely guaranteed him victory. And it's just always the same 6 or 7 factions on the field, no variation.
Are there any of them that you would change? I know that our Arverni was changed at one point.
I personally would not have lowered our Arverni down to -2. I would have moved Misathley up to -3 with
Yeah, Mercedes been getting
our
picked a lot.
Arverni there. So that way,
I do think Misathley is a bit good for a -2.
yeah, and that's really my only thing that I've changed so far. Everything else is working as intended.
Wait, did you say you'd keep Swaby at -2?
Yeah. I mean, I want people to play Swaby.
I feel like it
units
is it's another decently high risk faction.
I guess it depends how you play it, yeah. But yeah, I think Mercedes should be bumped up because it's just being a cheap alternative to Rome, isn't it?
Wait, oh yeah, sorry.
And everyone's sort of just grabbing it just as a infantry
man.
meat shield.
That's
isn't
not
it,
good
really?
there, OT.
Grind. But
I'm gonna go down there and see if they figured out.
I guess they're subbing. So Mr. Stick just got in. I think he's attacking. And then apparently Willow dropped and hasn't responded. So they are going to switch for Bloody if he doesn't respond.
Okay. As long as they have it figured out. I was just concerned because we haven't got the full lobby going yet.
So Duke says, I am still hoping you will do a 4v4 Imperial Rome versus Swaby siege on a barbarian settlement with Joe on it.
That is very specific.
Oh, people like their themed battles. Might be a tough one, though. I mean, Swaby on defense at least might get some, might put up a fight, but I think it'd still be relatively tough for him. What do you guys think?
I feel like Swaby is very capable of.
Yeah, those sword
masters. All right, so Richard, the way this works
build
is
the right army against Rome, definitely struggle
for an entire round, each team has 10 points. So a round is 2 sieges, 1 land, and then another siege at the end if it goes to that. So you have 10 points to use for the entire round.
Swaby's a solid faction, to be honest.
Technically, these guys have already played a game, so they don't have 10 points anymore.
To be honest, because of the Syrians.
Each faction is worth a certain amount of points.
Kimbri's have got how much armor? The Kimbri's got pretty low armor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 20, I think. It's not much. Yeah, Joe does love his barbarians. Yeah, if Joe wants to pay Swaby, I'll play Rome. Bubble says 5 club levy, 1 hexbearer, and swordmaster spam incoming.
He knows how Zach plays, or sorry, Iceni. And Iceni, you better do me proud. You know how much I like Swaby.
Oh shit, I moved the chat back under. I moved it because I was looking at the players. Welcome to the stream, Richard. Are you new to the stream? New to the channel? Yeah, Cretans are 35 armor. No, Cretans I think are 30, and Cretans are 30 or 35 armor. I can't remember.
I believe they are.
I think they're 30, right?
I think they're 30. If I
think
remember
Cretans
correctly.
are 30 and Syrians are 40, right?
I know Syrians are 40.
And then Chimerians are right in the middle at 35, aren't they?
I think Chimerians are the same as Syrians.
Which Diadokis, Zohan?
Syrians are heavily armored like Chimerians.
I like the Chimerians are just a fantastic archer. Royal, by the way, just because Joe and Apollo have it, and I have been meaning to, I added the free stuff bot to the Discord. Wait, the what? What does that mean?
Do we like
Royal?
the faction picks here? I feel like the attackers have picked some good factions.
Yeah, I like the Swaby Arverni combo. Are you at all surprised by the Bactria pick for defenders?
No. Bactria has been being picked pretty regularly on defense because they have access to those Syrians.
Yeah.
Scenarios. And the Thorax mid tier is still a very reliable unit. And I think Factory's been almost picked every time on defense so far. Might
Yeah,
have to
I've
consider
seen a lot of
moving that
Bactria.
up.
You have to extend or what?
Might have to consider moving that up in the future if it keeps getting picked. Get Bordeaux and Bactria eventually. Oh, and 2 people dropped again.
Ooh, ouch.
What is
Swagey
going
versus
on?
Imperial Rome
I'm happy
Siege
to go, I think, in
would be a
minute.
Barbarians TV show themed battle. You're
I
right.
thought I'd at least get to see the start. Well, I guess this proves the point of how tricky it is sometimes to get battles going, siege battles, but it's all
Sometimes
good.
the siege battles just go on and on and on, and players have to leave.
Okay, Royal. Gotcha.
I'm still upset that Colchis is only 0 points. Pacifist.
I
we
mean,
need
all
needs to be
that does,
3.
right, is-
Yeah, we need to bump that boy up to 5.
I mean, do you want people to pick it though?
I mean, it's too good. You got flying Colchian nobles. How can you beat that?
We've got a guy that stops in every once in a while. He insists that chariots are OP, and I'm just like, dude, no.
They're not at all. In large numbers, if the enemy army is also being attacked by something else,
Right.
yeah, it's OP. But I think a single chariot or even 2 chariots, like just one javelin volley from the Levy Freeman, even or any infantry unit can just wipe it out.
I feel like somebody's got a connection problem here.
I know for me, I've never been a fan of chariots. I think they've just were implemented poorly.
What do you mean? What about them? Do you mean the way they?
Well, I mean, historically. Oh,
I'll bring
you
back, guys.
lost connection to
Yeah.
the game.
No, the host left the game.
Oh, okay.
I'll bring
Oh,
back.
so they're rehosting.
Do you guys have a
Hello?
new game up?
Yeah, we're rehosting. It's the rehost one, and password's 1237.
Yeah, Hermes, go to.
It was just because I was too far away from Oh. Yeah.
That's
I
all
was
right.
just too
I,
far away from everyone else.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
all
gonna
right.
ready up, and then I gotta use the restroom.
You see too much. I just can't. I can't
They
stand.
can be fun though. I'll tell you what.
Sure, they can be
chariots
fun,
can be
but
fun.
they're just not historically accurate in this time frame.
What's not?
Like,
Sorry.
They did not. They weren't
Oh,
used
yeah.
militarily at all.
What?
Anymore
Sorry.
By this point.
We still talking chariots?
Yeah, we were just finishing up the discussion on
There's
chariots.
Bass. That's my teammate from the Free Charioteers.
Oh no, T.
Well, yeah.
But basically, all I was saying was, historically speaking, chariots kind of weren't really much of a thing anymore.
Yeah.
in
There
this
honestly
time
were
period.
kind of
Yeah,
a
I get
class
that.
thing. You know, like they used them a lot for like fucking, parades and shit.
Yeah, that's all
racing,
they were really good
racing.
for.
Mm.
Or racing,
And also,
obviously.
I seen you used them as like a way to move troops and skirmishers along the front line quick and then get them out. But they weren't combat chariots at all.
No. Good old
Either
Boudica.
way. Mm.
She was on this week's Commander poll. This week we did Boudica, Arminius, and Vercingetorix.
Oh, Vercingetorix, nice.
The last I saw, Vercingetorix is winning it pretty easy. Boudica actually led the poll for a little bit, but then it kind of adjusted after a while. Yeah, Vercingetorix 46%, Arminius at 33%, and Boudica at 21%. The question about doing a Warhammer hot seat, yes or no, is literally a 50-50%.
Oh, is it? I was hoping to see a Shogun 2 one.
I would do a Shogun. I really would. I think that would be fun, honestly.
Let's have a look at it. I think I.
What's that? Sorry.
I'm just gonna have a look at it now. I think I ticked the Shogun 2 one. Yeah, it's 6-6 now, isn't it?
Why, Royal? Wait, what'd you do? Sorry.
Oh, I voted for the Shogun 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Be nice to see some Shogun 2 battles after.
I would
such a
do it.
long
I think
time.
honestly, I think that'd be I think it would be really good for the hot seat. The one concern, obviously, and the same concern I have with Warhammer is I don't know if we have enough people. You know what I mean?
Oh, that actually might have the game. You mean?
Literally, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's actually one of the issues. I would love to, but I think it kind of proved when I asked people, who would play, and like only 10 fucking people responded, and I'm like, oh well, that shit. Duke, I just voted for Boudica as an Englishman. Who would you vote?
That's
Who
only
would you vote
fair.
for?
Who were the options again?
Boudica, Arminius, and Vercingetorix.
Arminius.
Arminius, all right. What about you, pacifist?
What are we voting on? Like, what are we
Oh,
deciding?
like who you? I guess just like who you like the most between those
He's
three.
more of a Chad out of all
Yeah,
the three.
yeah.
Arminius is more Chad, I
I
think.
mean,
Arminius
to-
is a Chad. That is for
that's
sure.
a difficult one because like Arminius did lead 3 legions to their death.
Dude,
right?
true.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. It destroyed them.
You know,
Eradicated
it
them.
literally, and they actually historically, most historians believe that event prevented, was literally like one of the biggest things that caused the Roman, not downfall, but like it literally stopped Roman expansion.
They couldn't keep up with the population demand to replace their
30
legions.
or that. So what? A legion is usually about 5,000 men. So like,
Mhm.
I mean, that's 15,000 men back. That's a big blow, especially with like the way the Romans. I think somebody forgot equipment. Swaby.
Oops.
No, you still got your
Ah.
overlay, by the way, for the point
Oh,
system.
thank you. Appreciate it.
But I think I would have to give it to Boudica, though. Being a female in that time and being able to lead a country and stuff. That's
What
pretty...
150,000 men to battle, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty impressive as a
woman,
back then.
it really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, but they lost.
They lost.
Badly. Badly. Have you ever
They got
looked
really
at
smashed.
Have you ever looked at how the Romans fought against? Why are we waiting on Seleucid?
Oh.
Swaby forgot equipment. Oh, I
okay,
should.
well.
Sorry, I forgot that Willem left. Here you go. In the Discord. Like.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The way the Romans defeated the Iceni. Do you know how they did it?
Oh, you mean the formation they do?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it called? Like the
chevron
like
formation.
Yeah, the points, right?
Yeah. So they put their block formation like they usually would, but on the front end of the block formation they made it into little triangles, so that it smashed the Iceni men together, basically in a 3-way, thing where like they were getting hit from 3 different directions, front, sides, and there were so many Iceni that they just like basically like smashed each other together where they couldn't move.
Yeah, that's where the gladius comes in. Pretty handy. Nice little short sword, stabbing weapon, perfectly designed.
Yeah, man. But it's just like a impressive example of the ingenuity of the Romans, But like, the 15,000 men, like in a lot of, I think some people may think that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at how large the Roman Empire was at the time that the 3 legions were lost in the Teutoburg Forest, the Romans were using their legions as border guards. Like their legions were spread out all along their borders to keep the peace. So losing 3 legions, that's huge, because that means like you lose all these men that are supposed to be out guarding your borders, and not only that, but for future expansion. So now they're gone.
Yeah, and that's whenever Rome kind of stopped their excursions into Germany after
Mhm.
Germanicus went in and made those people punish. He punished them for their crimes against the Great Roman Republic. But
They never really went further after that,
Nah, no.
and
Which
that's
kind of
what.
makes me curious what they're going to do with the new Barbarian show, because they're doing a second season, but are they just going to
No.
show Germanicus running through all of the German tribes and just burning
I
the
mean,
villages?
I guarantee that they're going to romanticize the whole Arminius' brother thing. I guarantee that that's going to be a big part of the next season is going to be his brother, because they talk
Okay.
about his brother a lot in season 1, and then you never see him or anything. But historically, his brother also fought for the Romans and stayed fighting for the Romans to the point that his brother is actually fights against him at one point. I don't remember if his brother was in the battle where he lost or if it was just, I can't remember specifically, but I do know that the two of them do fight each other. So I guarantee that that's going to be a big point of the show.
Mhm.
I mean, we've been waiting for them to get started, Steve. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, like, we have to,
I think it's.
they took a long time getting started.
I like these tower placements more. I feel like it'll be more effective against the defensive artillery.
Let me
They'll
see.
be forced to move them further.
Oh, yeah, I
back.
completely agree already.
Yeah.
It looks, they're definitely, like, aimed in much better.
Mm-hmm.
Hermes says, thanks for spoiling the show, Allington. Isn't
Oh.
Hermes in the game?
Oops.
Why is he watching?
Yeah, are you stream sniping?
Yeah,
just
Hermes, why are you watching?
Oh my God, Hermes.
Oh, you'll never hear the end of this.
Yeah,
Oh,
Duke, it'll be
God.
Germanicus, definitely. But I think the brother's going to be a huge part. Maybe it's a good thing I had the faction list up for so long. Can't see anything.
Well, he's on defense now anyway, isn't he? So you can see that everyone else is
That's
enemy.
true.
It's so good. It's so good. You get away with it this time, Hermes.
Roy wants to know, so if you were to have this podcast, what would you name it?
Something really cringy, I'm sure.
It
Yeah,
would be
it needs to be
really
cringe.
cringy.
It needs to be cringe.
Like, it has to be. Like, what do you mean? Like, it has to be. Boss says every podcast needs a pun as a title. I mean, I think that's exactly what you mean, isn't it? That, like, cringy, it's got to be something like a pun or a play on words or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, it needs to be some cringe in there.
absolutely.
It's too bad that I am absolutely atrocious at puns, so I would not be able
We
to
know the
come up with
worse they
a
are,
title.
the better, right?
That is true. That is true.
Mhm.
You need it so people think twice before they click on it.
Rusty says the Senate, but I feel like that's too basic. It's too obvious, right?
Titus would love that.
Why?
He would.
He's
Ah.
non-stop talking about this, how he's the Senate.
Oh my god.
He's making that Star Wars reference.
So for Swaby, got a lot like litter. That's exactly whoever called it in chat. All club levy, sword masters, and
A
a
hex bear.
couple bloodsworn. He actually has a bloodsworn. I don't actually see a hexbearer.
It's right
yeah,
there.
it's right there
Where
in
is
the
it
middle,
at?
between the houses.
Yeah, right behind.
Oh,
the,
duh.
Yeah.
The tree was kind of covering up the banner.
I would have been so disappointed in Iced if he didn't.
And
bring a
did he
hex bear. He would
go-
have never heard the end of
Yeah.
it. But Zach, if you're still listening, you better make sure that you teach Hermes how to use the hex bear, because a lot of the time Hermes does not use the hex bear, and he brings it anyway.
So tell me, so explain to people how to use hexbear.
Well, you got to keep him close to the front line. Like, you got to keep archers away from him. You come in, you scare the units. The low tiers will run away. You can rout even Thorax at 100 men with the hex bear nearby. And combination that with the sword masters that can just like murder these mid tiers that these defenders have. Once they start losing decisively, you already have minus 15 morale, and then you have another minus 10 from the hex bear, and then it starts really piling up really quick. Start taking archer fire or artillery fire, and you already have wavering at over 100 men.
Yeah,
So
hex
he's
is
really
nice.
good with that beer.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Swaby, and I even like bringing warrior with it sometimes.
Oh, warrior's risky though, because you really have to nurture those sword masters.
Yeah.
And to do that, you need second wind, which is
Yeah,
the most
second wind is-
unrealistic, most unbalanced ability in the game.
It's
What do you
so
mean you're
important,
tired? Get back in there.
No, you're not.
Take your amphetamines.
Take some more mushrooms.
Honestly, I think their
Search for
ingenuity,
Swady.
Lex or Lee, I think that really was the
Spit it.
big part of it. Now for the defenders, we're probably going to see pretty typical stuff, right? Some slave infantry from Sicily. Numidian lights. I mean, that's pretty typical Sicily.
Yeah, there's not much variation
there's-
between the Sicily builds, to be honest.
Same thing, Carthage. Really, it's just a bunch of Libyans, couple Samnites. No noble fighters, doesn't look like. And then Bactria, like, it's Bactria. Like, it has what it has. The Rex swords. Thorough spears. Something I've seen very, very few of in the tournament so far is pikes. I've seen very few pikes.
It's a risky unit to bring. If you're trying to be a road bump, sure, but other than that, it's
I use
not gonna do much. Most
use
competitive players
flame
aren't gonna
shot, that's
just
for
run
sure.
units into pikes.
What's up, Royal?
The only thing that pikes are really good for is the blocking action. Like you say, I don't want you to go down this road, so
Well,
here's
what
my
is it,
long
Royal?
Pointy stick. Find a way to deal with it, and then you can cross this area. Which
Oh,
means
Joel
you're
says
basically-
same factions as when we defended, and I didn't even realize, but he is absolutely right.
Oh yeah, very true. Ugh.
What are you ughing about?
Dyer wants me to send him the save file for Valheim.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh.
What are they? Okay, good luck, have fun, boys. They definitely train their men really well, but I honestly think their ability to adapt to things and develop new stuff, I really think is the big thing for them. Steve, what is the limit on caps to be worn by Nightbot? As he puts it all in. Hermes, well, I'm on defense and you have a delay, but I'm gonna leave now. We were just giving you shit, Hermes. Rusty says, who needs training when you can just be a barbarian?
Very true.
That is the way.
This is the way.
Candor would approve.
Are you guys, Mandalorian fans?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was really
I
good.
really liked it. I will be honest, I'm a little sad about the whole Gina Carano thing. I actually thought she was a lot of fun in the show. I'm not going to say she was like the greatest actress ever, but like I thought she brought some fun nuance to the show, and so that sucks. But like the show as a whole, I thought has done a really good job, and not even just it just being a good show, but also kind of like patching up some things that were made wrong, you know?
Mm.
What am I editing, Royal? But yeah, like I'm not honestly like a gigantic, huge Star Wars fan. Like I think they're fun, but I'm not like, oh my god, this deep dark little thing, you know. If you ask me Lord of the Rings, that's a different story. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like both Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, but I'm not a huge nerd about either of them.
Gotcha. I'm super pumped for the Lord of the Rings show from Amazon. I think Amazon actually has put up some pretty good shows, and they are literally putting $1 billion into the project. So I hope it's going to be good.
$1 billion.
$1 billion. But I mean, like, I sure hope it's going to be good for that much money.
I mean, I have faith that it'll at least be watchable and entertaining. Whether it adds to the story of Lord of the Rings or not, I don't know.
The one thing what's that? Sorry.
Well, with the new Star Wars shows, like the actual shows that Disney came out with, I don't feel like they add anything to the story of Star Wars at all. Like,
how dare you?
For Lord of the Rings,
I said something controversial. Sorry.
For the Lord of the Rings, the thing that scares me a little bit is that it was reported that Amazon was they were doing casting calls, and some of their casting calls were specifically like looking for like women willing to show nudity, and then like they were looking for so in television there's a role or a job where your entire job is directing like intimacy scenes. So like sex scenes, literally their entire job is to come in for specific scenes and like teach actors how to like do sex scenes in shows. And apparently Amazon was looking for one. And that makes me really, really nervous that they're like going to be adding stuff that really isn't necessary, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that just scares me a little bit, but I don't know. I'm hopeful. I am hopeful that I think they are going to try and make it good. They have on staff like a Tolkien expert. Like his entire job is, being an expert in everything about Tolkien. So like he's there to just kind of like try and keep them in the right path, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun. I don't think anything will be ever be as awkward as Arya's scene in Game of Thrones. So
which one?
It'll be fun.
Oh, the with Gentry.
Yes.
It was just when people ask me or tell me, "Oh, I'm about to start I'm going to start doing or start watching Game of Thrones." Wow, and I always tell them, "All right, watch to season 6 and then stop."
Yeah, that's a good piece of advice for Game of Thrones.
Because the
show started just going way downhill after.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
5 even.
I feel like season 6 even itself had its issues, but it had some massive ups. But season 7 just and honestly I wasn't sure if it could get worse than season 7, and then season 8 hit, and it was horrible. It was so bad. And what sucks about that is it looked great. Like the cinematics, the cinematography, everything of it was amazing. But just it oh my god, it was just, what did they do? You know what I mean? Like Jaime's story just Arya just
god, yeah, it was all the shit show.
Like Arya had this whole like build up thing of like her becoming this like super assassin person, and then like does nothing.
Well,
like
I mean, you say does nothing. I mean, she single-handedly kills the entire series for me. So there's that.
What, the whole Night King thing, or it's just I do remember like they did a really good job at like in the moment, oh my god, and then afterwards you're always like, wait, what? Because like I remember
was
when
that the best choice
with the Arya thing, I remember like, but then like after I watched it, I was like, Huh? Wait. What? And then, like, I didn't like that they build up this whole thing, like, the Night King. No, you guys are all worried about the whole, about the war in the South, but the Night King. Oh, the Night King. Oh, look at the Night King. Oh, he's got a zombie. Oh, he's got a zombie dragon. Night King, Night King. Episode 3.
It's fine. He's gone. Let's move on to the war in the South.
And then Cersei literally got paid, what, like, a couple $1 million to just sit there and sip wine. Like, she had like 3 lines in the entire fucking show, or the entire season. Like, what? Oh, God. And then,
Yeah, it's a shame
you
that they
know,
didn't
Kit
make it.
Harington, man, just an epic season 8. You are my queen, and I'll follow you to wherever you want to go. But you are my queen. Jon Snow, what are you gonna do with it? You are my queen. We could put Jon Snow on the throne. You are my queen. She is my queen, and I won't betray her. That's my Jon Snow impression. Tell me how
Pretty
bad or
good.
good it is.
It's
was
pretty
fine.
good. Yeah, my favorite part though is, you know, after he said that all those times, he just betrays her.
Am I the
Yeah.
like who else saw the stabbing like 100 miles away? Like
Yeah, I saw it. in
as
season
soon as
one.
the
100
scene
miles away.
started, you're like, he's gonna kill her. She's
Yeah.
dead. She's screwed. Oh my
When she
god.
started burning the city, it's like, oh well, we all know what's gonna happen when Jon Snow and her. are in a
Okay,
row.
and here's the other thing. All right, so you have the whole scene where, like, you know, after the battle. One, I don't like that they wounded. Oh my God, dragon name. The one that Jon Snow was riding. They you know, he gets wounded, and like they kind of play this thing where like he gets like they crash land, and then they never show the dragon ever again in the episode. And then all of a sudden in the next episode, he's back and he's fine. And it's like great. And then they go down to Dragonstone and he gets shot out of the air for like out of the blue. It's just like boom, he's dead. Ha 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 ha. So
Yeah, I
then
didn't like that.
it like plays up this thing where like the Navy is this huge threat. They have these ballistas. Oh my God, it's scary. And then in the final battle, Drogon just all over, and they do literally nothing. Then I'm like, what was the point of that again?
There wasn't one.
It's fucking terrible.
What are you doing, Ellington?
We are streaming a scrim from the tourney.
A scrim?
And we are definitely
Yeah,
paying attention
skirmish.
to it.
Oh, I'm zooming around. Once again, somebody made a very good point that this is the background to the podcast.
Well, I mean, I'm enjoying it. It seems like so far the attack is they've realized the first choke point and they're moving through.
Yeah, you can see the like the club levy and stuff moving up.
Nothing too big has happened yet.
I feel
though.
like there's a bit more assertiveness here from the attackers, though. Like, I feel like you actually are seeing people, like, you're seeing a lot of command orders here, you know, for troops moving forward. It looks like they are, you know, trying to push in, get into the city. They're moving their troops into it. Slinger fire coming from Hermes here. Honestly,
And
almost
there are-
carbon copy of the defense we saw last game. Numidian
Yep.
lights up in the front, slingers right behind, shooting up. Libyan hoplites from Willow moving up.
Ooh, is that 2 Oathsworn on attack from our?
Yeah,
That's
I think
a little... 3. That means they have
3 with the
Oathsworn.
Jin, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little too much with Swaby having already so
A
many.
lot of
Sword
Swordmasters. And Seleucid, I think, is just standard 1 Royal Peltis. No, 2 Royal Peltis.
Unless Joseph brought a horse gen, which is not beyond Joseph.
For who is that?
Arverni.
No, he brought Oathsworn.
Really? So
Yep.
Joseph doesn't have Cav? No, this is impossible.
No.
This is not possible.
No.
Where
He'll
is
be fine.
Joseph's Cav? have
Season
to find
5,
it.
I
It's-
honestly think was one of the worst seasons.
Oh no.
Just saying.
Cody already snuck in.
Worst seasons for
probably on the
me,
list.
season 8
Should
worst,
just check that out real
7
quick.
second, 5 was third worst. Duke says Game of Thrones started going downhill from season 5. My rating for the worst seasons goes season 8 is first. It's the worst season. Season 7 is number 2, and season 5 is number 3. Season 5 was just honestly just boring. Like it was just bleh. Like the whole like Tyrion and or not Tyrion, but Bronn and Jaime going to the desert place. Complete brain fart.
Dorne.
I definitely.
Dorne, thank you. That it just bleh.
He's just running his Club Levy around and around.
Club
Yeah,
Levy
unfortunately,
actually
we're
have
gonna get-
pretty like they have okay armor compared to like
That other
what
one that's
Swaby
fighting
has.
Carthage's unit just kept running around getting shot in the back the whole time.
This one's down to 94. Gallic Warrior's losing decisively, but I think Bactria is going to come in and try and get a Javi toss here.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. What do you mean Bactria? Dry fire. Dry fire. It didn't shoot.
I would have just brought up like an archer
okay,
and
I
shot
was-
like one
I
or
was
two
watching-
volleys.
I was watching
Happened.
YouTube one, it's a little behind.
Yeah. you
Oh,
should-
well, I'm streaming on Discord if you
I
want to see it.
I forgot.
I've got them both up, so I'm like looking between the two of them and thinking, what am I doing?
I've liked a lot of this. Just right here, some really fun little tactical movements. Both sides trying to. Both sides. Even
They
you know,
tried.
yeah, Bactria tried, but the attackers did a really good job of looping around. Very nicely done there. That's the stuff I love seeing, is just that kind of fun tactical movements.
I think they threw away their 2 units.
Rome
right
was
there.
very good.
The defenders.
Tom Perez says Rome was excellent, especially the first season. And I completely agree. And if I remember correctly, I remember reading a thing where it's commonly agreed that Rome getting canceled was one of the biggest boo-boos that HBO ever made. Like, it was an incredibly successful, incredibly popular show that I can't even remember the reason they canceled it, but they ended up canceling it, and afterwards they realized they were like, shit. Did you guys ever watch Rome?
I
Yeah,
did.
it was great. I loved it.
Loved
was
it.
great.
Fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I agree. I think season 1 was better than season 2, but season 2 was fun to watch. The Octavian becoming Augustus was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And that,
I think it was because it was so expensive.
but they like once again they found that it was a huge mistake to cancel it. They like I think they did the statistics of what they basically like. The potential that they lost by canceling the show was huge.
Yeah, they're probably like, well, they were like, okay, we're canceling this, it's too expensive, and then they didn't really think about, oh, well, if we kept it going, we'd probably make a crap ton of money.
Yeah, and they did not test, but you know what I mean, to see like the potential of canceled shows and things like that, and they found that the cancellation of Rome, the show, was like one of the hugest mistakes that HBO ever made.
Yep.
So I'm watching some of the movements from the Swaby attacker player. He's making a few mistakes.
I seen
got-
he is playing Swaby here.
Yeah.
What do you find in mistake-wise?
You see how many elusive units are on the front line right now? They're not
Yes.
spreading their micro out. They,
Yep.
as a single army, they need to spread the micro out, where Swaby's doing something and Selks is doing something, and then you have Arverni that needs to be doing something.
Which
as well. You
Arverni
can't
right
have
now
one
isn't really
player.
doing anything.
Yeah, they all need to be doing something, and right now the only player contributing is Dick.
Why are we blaming the BBC? Swaby's keeping most of his stuff back in the back here. He still has his Hex Bearer still at the back there.
Yeah, he's making the same mistake Hermes does. Which is a mistake commonly seen.
It's
with
got
Hex
blood.
Bears.
The Bloodsworn is general, Hex Bearers, and there's a Chosen Sword. And I
They
just
really wanna
realized they
keep their
only
artillery.
brought one artillery.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, yeah, never mind.
But so far, the attackers are making, I would say, good progress in the center. Like they've exchanged pretty well. But it's kind of halted.
Same thing here. Like they're same. Honestly, like it's a very, very carbon copy battle here at the moment. Like obviously that can change at any point, but at this very moment, it's just very, very similar to what we saw in the previous. The Slave Infantry 6 kills, the Gallic Warriors 150 men still, and already 87 kills on them.
Yeah, they're doing really well.
Yeah.
I think they got into some not Bloodstorm, but Club Levy earlier.
Yeah, James Purefoy, I am a huge fan of.
I wonder if this attack will see a push on this left-hand side choke point near the
Over
green
here?
box. Yeah, I think. we
Yeah,
might see one.
I think so, because they are already putting pressure here. Mighty Duck says Syrian, which I have no idea if that is the way to say that. I don't know, Baby Jesus. I don't know, because I think he might be Irish. I'm not sure. The actor who plays Caesar in Rome, I never know how to say his name.
Oh, I know
I
who
have
you mean.
no
I have
idea.
no idea.
It's
though.
Ciaran.
Oh yeah, mate, I've got no idea.
I don't know if that's
I'm so
Irish. I'm
bad
not sure.
at saying words correctly.
But Mighty Duck says that him and James Purefoy are pure gold, exactly how I imagined Caesar and Mark Antony. James Purefoy, the guy who plays Mark Antony, I'm a huge fan of him. I think he's an excellent actor. He also plays Edward the Black Prince in A Knight's Tale, which is one of the most underrated movies I've ever watched.
It's Heath Ledger, right?
Yeah, Heath Ledger, and it's actually got a lot of guys. Paul Bettany is in it. The guy who plays Robert Baratheon is in it. I can't think of his name at the moment. But it's got a lot of actors that you're like, oh, I know that guy.
And what was the show called?
The movie A Knight's Tale,
funny,
yeah.
actually. Yeah, it's
I don't
funny,
think
yeah.
I've seen that. I'll have to
Oh,
watch that.
it's really good.
It is good, yeah.
And then it's got oh gosh, the guy he's always the bad guy. He's so good, and I can't think of his name. He plays bad guy in so many different movies. Oh my god.
That was a good hit on artillery.
I wonder what he's up to. 116? And he has not been firing that much.
No, he's only fired a couple of times.
So, like, he's got to have pretty decent ammo. He's getting good hits. Somebody in the chat, tell me who plays the bad guy in A Knight's Tale. I can't think of his name.
It's just Seltz pushing.
Zohan says it's Ciaran Heinz? CRN. Heinz. I don't know. It's fine. And Duke says he is Irish. The Irish are kind of like the Welsh. They got really weird names. I'm so sorry, baby Jesus. Please don't hate me.
It's fine. They do.
People want me to like do an entire video using a British accent, and I'm like, dude, I would lose every single of my British subscribers.
Nah, it'd be fine.
No, I'm pretty sure you
wouldn't worry about
gain
that.
more of them.
I don't know, like they'd probably be like, man, this sounds like an American doing a British accent. Like some new person would watch the video and be like, what the hell?
Right. It is late here, though. I think I'm going to have to let you guys be.
All right, man. We will
It
see
was
you.
fun,
Pleasure
baby
as always,
Jesus.
baby Jesus.
Yeah, it was good.
Everybody say goodbye.
To our British person.
I know.
What
What are
will
we?
we
We're
do
gonna
without 'em?
sound so. It's gonna be such a lowly podcast now. We don't have any of our like. We don't have our Swede. We don't have our Brit. Like, what are we gonna do?
All the Europeans
Just
are gone, we
large.
can't possibly
So
entertain these
11,
people.
11.5, I think it is.
Right, I'll head off. Again, thank you
See you
very
later,
much for having
buddy.
me.
Yeah.
Have a nice stream.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yep, good night. See you later,
Rufus
chat.
Sewell, thank you, Rufus Sewell. It's Rufus Sewell is the name of the bad guy, by the way. Ooh.
If
Cretan
both their
archers.
shields died, it will hurt, but
Now,
think they
what
just
if
got
you
to.
were to move? Well, he can't really, the Syrians, so never mind.
they've got that center choke point pretty controlled with archers, the defenders do. So, I mean, they can't really move too close.
Well, I was wondering if the Cretans could shift over to get more of
no.
a back shot.
They would enter a kill box the attackers have set up. They've got 2 Kimbries and 3 Syrian, 4
Yeah,
Syrians.
and that's why I
ready
was
to
saying
kill
they
them.
can't. Yeah.
And they have Thurios right there on the front line as well. If they get too close, they're going to get
Yeah.
pelted with javelins. And they've already successfully pushed those Cretans back. Uh-oh. Iceni, you're starting to walk your archers into combat. That's not good.
Yeah, he almost did. Looks like they've shot a little bit here. Getting shot now by the Cretans. Looks like Carthage wants to take that fight.
He needs to. He needs to get rid of Swaby on that flank, because the Swaby Swordmasters on that front are pretty safe.
Sorry.
You're good. Ooh, I do like this exchange of archer positions from the attackers. They're sending the Syrians over to combat the Cretans and moving
Pulling the Kimbries away.
That's a good.
Not wasting them. Yeah, I like that. Once again, like just some good solid initial movements here. I feel. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I think they've set up their attack better than the previous attack.
But they haven't
still
wasted
have
as much time. That's the thing.
Yeah, they still have 40 minutes, and
Yeah.
they're pushing 3 choke points right now. So the deaths are happening.
Swordmaster is down to 128. They've got 31 kills, so not too
That's
bad.
not
Still
so
healthy.
It's still not great though. At that point, you want to see the unit closer to 100 kills.
I think the attackers are just gonna completely ignore that.
That's a death. That's a death. That's how you commit that.
That's a death. Well, they don't have anything that they can pressure. Either, like they don't have archers that they can shoot over the walls or anything like that. So literally, they're just walking into a kill box. Thorax gonna go in. Duke says once he gets back from his deployment, I want to see Dan play Baby Jesus. Dan is
in a land battle?
Yeah, in a land battle. Dan's a player from the Hungry Wolves. He's pretty darn good in land battles, and so some people want to see a matchup between the two of them.
I mean, I feel like those kind of matches are always fun to watch. You
Yeah,
got 2
absolutely.
high-tier players that are gonna duke it out. I feel like you'll just see the
But
micro
Dan,
be stressed.
right? But Dan, unfortunately, at the moment is deployed in Cyprus at the moment.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's RAF for yeah. Gonna be out there for the next couple of months, if I remember right. Looks like maybe Hermes might be considering a usage of his heavy Numidians here.
He's just waiting for Zach to put in those sword masters to punish him.
Get a real nice short side shot into him. He's going shield wall, gonna go in.
I don't know why he would do that.
Sword or the
but-
chosen sword's 156 kills, 2 double chevrons on him.
Uh-oh.
I think
Javelins don't
I
know
think
what
that
they
was a
wanna
boo
do.
boo. I think that was a hey fire! Oh no! I think he's repositioning.
Yeah, I hate how archers do that in Rome 2
I hate it,
sometimes.
man.
Bringers of death.
No, you're absolutely right there, Lee. So Lee, where are you from?
Swaby needs to be more generous with his sword masters.
He's got all of them back here. What is he? What did we say? 4? Is that what he had? 1,
I think he has 5.
2, 3, 4, 5 on his gen. So yeah, or 6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got a healthy number of them. Needs to commit them.
Use them! Look at
You paid
this,
for
man.
them,
They're
use them.
already kind of getting into this zone here. But like we were talking earlier, Bactry already set up. But looks like he's duking it out with the Syrians from Seleucid at the moment. Syrians, looks like he's pulling up the rest of them, but, well, I don't know. Bactria's not shooting over there. I think he's shooting the Chosens, yeah.
Yeah.
But we gotta be careful because the Syrians, I think, are targeting him now.
I wonder if this is a case where every time he shoots that the Syrians go hidden, and then he
Oh
has to
man, I hate
retarget
that,
them.
dude.
Yeah.
Such a pain in the ass. So he pulled out to get Javi volleys. 110 men, 148 men.
Those swordmasters are dead.
Oh no. And now he's just gonna turn his back to it.
Oh, you got some javelins being wasted on the troops on the wall.
The RAF regiment defend RAF airfields from air and ground threats. Their nickname is Rock Apes from their deployments in Gibraltar.
Somewhat successful.
It's all right, Lee. And the attackers there, I mean the defenders, excuse me, they've got units ready to move in, but honestly, Carthage might be shifting back, or he's, I don't know what, he's just moving apparently. Do you ever like notice when people just like do those little movements like that, just shifting to like a different place, and it's like, why? Why'd you move there?
I feel like sometimes it goes along with just microing your backline. Whenever you cycle through your units to see what you need to micro, if you just move it a little bit, it makes you move.
By the way, we are up to
often.
44 likes. Thank you guys so much.
See what's going on.
Like
Like once you, yeah, they're doing well with their Pila here.
And Thorax going at Thorax 40 kills. So I'm betting he's already used his Pila.
Oh,
Got the Gallic Hunters of Arverni over here and Kimberly Bowwomen. Wow, big archer presence in this spot. I think they're going for heavy Numidians.
They're probably trying to
saw the volley
challenge
come
long
over
distance.
here, but
Long distance archer is what they're trying to challenge.
yeah, I thought I saw the volley come in this direction, but. So Lee, where are you from? I think Willow's having some issues with his archers. They're kind of doing that thing where they run and they're kind of, you know, where it looks like they're trying to get an archer position.
Yeah, whenever you're shooting at targets that are hugging buildings and stuff, sometimes
Pain in
your
the
archer
butt.
just won't shoot.
Oh, Jen.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
45 armor. Back shots, though.
Is he going to get another volley? No, he's pulling
No.
off.
The Cretans kind of prevented it.
Nightbot is an independent entity, Lee. Why do you ask?
Although his Kimberly is in combat now.
Yep. Again, we did that earlier. This is 52 men or women in it. Excuse me.
And
I'm
almost
sorry. I'm
6
sorry.
kills.
Here we go.
Ooh,
Bactrian Syrians
Wow.
on the Gallic Hunters.
not good for Joseph there.
Kimberly's up. The Syrians just kind of chilling for the moment. Doesn't it help that on mobile I can't see and see the chat at the same time. By the time I finish typing and submit, I realize there's been like 8 lines of chat in between.
Well,
I
it's
get
looking
that.
good for
That
the
is
defenders
definitely
so far.
a true thing.
Especially if the attackers don't use their units they paid for.
That they aren't using at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Swordmaster's on the left, though. Chosen Sword breaking, so Swordmaster going to go in. Middlesbrough, England. Very nice. I am in the middle of the United States. A little place, well, it's a big place, actually, called Nebraska.
All right, here we see some more Swordmasters moving up.
Yeah, they're moving now. Got another one. Well, is this the... Yeah, another
That's
one
the same
here. 160 man.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think the other one is completely gone. No, he's still alive. He's still alive.
That's
51
good, 'cause I need
mins,
to get more value out of that. Ooh,
79
there's
kills,
javelin
80
bomb
kills.
into the Gallic. Good job, Hermes, with those skirmishers.
No kills, doesn't look like, but it is forcing him to run away.
I mean, I don't know. Did it say he had no kills?
Yeah, it said 0.
Really?
Yep, 0 kills.
No, the one closer to the front line.
Oh, I thought it was the general that was throwing.
Yeah, 78 kills.
He's got 78. I don't know what he was with before that, so I'm not
Probably-
sure what he got.
Probably some sword masters and then some Gallics.
There's definitely Gallic bodies here, but I mean, combination of archers and skirms and stuff, such things.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the attackers are getting a little bogged down.
They are, and I feel like the defenders are using their archer angles pretty well. It's hurting the attackers for sure. And then you see 2 elites on the same front. I don't know if that is a good engagement. If they're going to have an oath sworn in, they should definitely pull out the swordmaster.
Oh yeah, you're right.
2 elites in the same spot is a dangerous
And
thing.
I feel like it's a big mistake that people make, even without elites, where you have a unit engaged, and then you throw another unit on top of them. You know what I mean? I think.
Slows down the elite.
What's that?
I said it slows down the killing rate of the elite. Not as many of the elite is engaged.
Yeah, they're not engaged in the combat.
That Thurios does not like where it's at, though.
Bib says, still going on with the heckers. I'm uploading this audio to Spotify.
Oh, no.
As long as I get credit for it.
Ellington with the please give me credits.
I mean, like, you know, business is business.
Oh, yeah.
145 now on the heavy Numidians.
Nice. I mean, they're decent at combat as well, so throw them in.
Duke says, I was born in South London, moved to South Africa after I left the British Army in 1985, and then met an Aussie chick in Durban, Natal in 2000, and now live in Australia. Quite the travels there. That's what the military does to you, right? Got a Libyan v Thorax. Libyans already got 44 kills.
Yeah, they've thrown all their Pila. Yeah, be careful not to overextend, though.
He actually pulled out of the Oh, this is why.
Yeah, he's now kind of trapped behind a Thurios. Oh.
Serving in the Royal Navy. Very nice. So I actually went
Didn't
to
actually kill that many. I'm
school
surprised.
with a guy he was the son of a Navy officer. I'm not a Royal Navy officer, who was stationed at the military base here where I live. And
well,
so
hopefully
his
they start using some of their elites. I know they
Yeah.
are right there on the right, but
Yeah.
they're running out of mid tiers very quickly.
But his son went to high school with me for a few years while
And
his
those
dad
sword
was stationed there as a
masters might as well be
liaison
used as mid
from the
tiers at
Royal
this
Navy.
point, because you don't have
And
any mid tiers left.
his the Desert Legion is 217.
Yeah,
But
they're doing really
he was actually descended from Charles Cornwallis. His family was descended from Charles Cornwallis. Oathsworn 128, 64 kills. Swordmaster 80 with 80 kills with 134. And a Royal
Yeah.
Peltis right behind him.
well. Yeah, I feel like they're in the same combat, so
lot
like they're
of-
hurting each other performance. It's not ideal.
Does it tell you that they are trying to bust through this quickly to get maybe
Yep.
angles here?
They want to get rid of those archers and that archer presence.
I'm from Bolton, not as interesting as your story. You know, I
And if they
love
can get through
seeing
that choke
how
point, they
many
can get
different
rid of
people
that
from
archer
different
angle
places that we
it has
have.
on them right now. That would be an interesting
First
play,
proper
but I
girlfriend
think it
was
would
from
hurt
New
them.
Zealand. I think he's just giving up the kill box. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Frees up units.
Now,
They
as
can
an
now see they're
attacker-
not going to go there. So
As an attacker now, if you reevaluated that flank, you could push that now.
yeah,
It would
absolutely.
be fine.
Especially they've got units.
With that
that
oath
can-
sworn, even just you can go down
Yeah.
that road.
Charles Cornwallis, as in the general who conquered most of India. He was one of the lead generals in the American
I feel like the
Revolution.
attackers brought way too many.
If you
elites.
think
the Swaby on your side, you don't
the
need
Battle of
that.
the Patriot, he's
Oh,
the
look,
the
Joseph
head
does have
general
a
of the
cab gen.
Patriot.
Look at that. See,
What's
I
that?
knew Joseph had a cab gen.
Wait, what? I thought
our
he.
Bernie.
I could have swore he brought a.
No.
Oh, I completely.
knew
Yeah,
it.
I'm so sorry. I misdid that. Sorry.
I thought Joseph had been possessed. Joseph without cab is a very unhappy Joseph.
Is he? I don't know. He's got kind of an angle here.
I don't really think there would be much of a point. The Thorax B Swordmaster is just gonna go Swordmaster away, so there's no point in wasting Pila.
My son was
on
based
the
on the U.S. East Coast for over
Save
2
the Pila
years.
for
He
a
is
different thing.
Fleet Air. He is courting an American girl. Well, you know, there's nothing better than the American women.
I wonder how much ammo the defenders have left. They've been skirmishing and shooting infantry a lot.
Let's see, Cretans 104, 84, 69. Well, it looks like these guys are out of ammo, but the other two have some sort of ammo left.
Mm-hmm.
The Bactrians, only 21 on the Persian Lights, but they are getting shot. It's like Kimberly's shooting them. No bueno. Where are the... So... Syrian at 115.
Out.
Looks like out of ammo. And I don't even see their... Oh, here it is.
Oh, back there.
120 and out of ammo. So they are
That's not
low.
Not looking good right there. Well,
This
that
guy
one
still
has
has it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's
That's
probably,
looking a
what,
little better.
75%, you think?
Yeah, he is
40 kills.
used that one.
Yeah. Slingers, 64 kills.
They could still have a lot.
Yeah, I think they're still out of ammo. Cretans, I think, are going to be out soon. All right, Thomas, good luck with your exam. We'll see you later. Even Bolton.
This is starting to look more and more like a Defender W, so we might have
Yeah.
a land battle to watch here.
Yeah, I feel like the defender or the attackers just really got bogged down. I think you're right that they brought a lot of punch, but they haven't been using it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a weird
Yes,
choice
thank
to
you so
me.
much,
Like,
Bibbs.
Whenever you have a Swavey comp on your side that has
Yes, I
6
will
sword
continue to
masters,
always
why
call
do
you
need
Bibbs
to
now.
Bring an elite with Seleucid or
You probably go heavier on the mid tier and make up for the fact that, you know, Swaby went so
lags
heavy.
mid
Yeah.
tiers.
And honestly, I think that's one of my one of my favorite dynamics of team multiplayer games is not just building your army, but you're building our army, right? You're building the army that we're all bringing. So hey, you're bringing, you know, let's say we're bringing a Galatia, and then we're bringing a let's say Getae, right? Getae has the noble swords that you can really spam out and can really make up for the fact that Galatia can't bring really an elite at all. So I just love those dynamics of the, you know, not just building your army, but building a team army.
Oh yeah, because I mean, whenever you're playing this game and you're playing in a somewhat competitive way, you have to kind of realize that you and your teammates are one army. I see a lot of times whenever people face off against randoms and other stuff, the randoms play as if they're solo and they're like playing separate from each other.
And that's why they lose.
Yeah, and they don't realize that they're all part of the same army. And,
Joel says, I think Zach doesn't know how to utilize his elites.
Zach is definitely letting us down, Rom, huh? Romulus likes to give Zach a hard time. They know each other. They play with each other.
Is that Joel?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. Romulus played the first game as Carthage on defense, and they subbed him out for Mr. Stick because he had to go eat.
Ah, I'm hungry too.
But Rom is good friends with Zach, or not friends with Zach. I don't really know. It's hard to tell.
I don't really know.
I can't tell you.
All right, sorry, I tabbed out there for a sec. Andriven says, or maybe it's Andriven, says the defenders are really using the javelins well. And we said something about that earlier. They really are. You got a Swordmaster here, 89 men, 117 kills.
Not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, what are you thinking? You probably want to at least have, what, 140 at this point?
Yeah, I mean...
Maybe even a little better than that.
With these Swordmasters, you want to see them
Gen.
in their lifespan at like around 200 to 300 kills each.
Absolutely, Duke.
Anything less than that, you kind of wasted your money. But it's not always about kills, right? Sometimes it's about what you kill. And,
yeah, true. He does have
right
a chevron on it now. Well, he's had it for...
You want to see 2 chevrons on it.
And here's a dinky one coming in. Or, never mind. He's like, yeah, never mind.
Got some cycle charging going on.
Yeah. Not the greatest one there. It was a little slow, but he at least gets a unit in and gets a unit out. So I think typically at that point you want to see a smooth transition.
Yeah, can we see where the Hex Bearers are? I haven't seen
Hex
them.
Bearers? I haven't really...
I don't think he's used them.
I don't think so. Oh, please. Where?
Are they just dead?
I think they might be dead, because I...
Are those it right there, the ones that are breaking through the Swordmaster?
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
that's it.
Yeah, okay. Got him too close to the front line and...
Shot up.
Yep. They died real quick.
I bet you that's exactly what the archers were shooting at.
Oh, yeah. You got some Oathsworn movement on both sides now.
Yep, so we got going in on this side. Once again, like kind of on top of something. I don't like that.
It's not ideal for sure. Kind of absorbed his own charge.
Exactly, that Thorough Spear just kind of got rammed up the butt. Then over here, this one's pretty weak. 73 men, 111 kills. He's popped his headhunt. His Gen's in the back here. Swordmaster going to go in with him. This is a healthy Desert Legionary.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, overall, I think the attackers could have won this if they had just organized their armies a little better.
Early on, they had a really nice push going, and then it just kind of slogged up. All right, battle rhythm. No headhunt. I mean, look at this. They still have just reserves coming in. Sam Knights, Libyans, Desert Cohort coming over to the right. I think they're worried about the push here, but I don't really get why. I mean, like, even though some of the stuff may not be, like...
Frozen?
Yep.
Ooh, I wonder who's gonna drop.
Rusty says, attackers can only win with Noble Horse. Rusty Nova also says, Zach has to leave. Is that Iceni?
Yeah, that is Iceni.
Oh, well. He's Swaby, right?
Yeah. He's mostly dead, though, so... And his units are in combat.
But that's what the lag was there.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try and swarm him.
Well, now that it's a...
What's that?
Now that it's a 2v3, the defenders should have this no problem. Because you won't see Swaby cycle charging anymore. You won't use second.
Yeah, they'll exhaust themselves.
And
look at it goes wedge formation.
Yeah, wedge. It's so good. I mean, you should always use wedge. It's. I'm joking. Don't. It looks cool. But that's about it.
I hate the diamond formation on Cav. I just think it doesn't do anything. And I think Swaby, he's just wasting his ammo. Swaby, the AI. Or is it the... Okay, I just think for a second I thought it was the Seleucid Syrians. I was like, really?
Yeah, no. But really, at this point, whenever somebody drops from a game, my only advice for people, if you're in this scenario, is you have to figure out what the AI is doing and just support it. Try to get as much value out of the AI as possible.
Absolutely agree. If they go into combat, that's where you go to combat.
Try to prevent, pikes from existing, just do whatever you can to support them. But I think we'll see a very quick wrap up here. There's not much left for the attackers to do. Even got Thurios going for some archer kills. They're being surrounded on all sides. Oh, we got a wedge formation being popped.
I think they're going to go after the Thuros.
That's actually pretty useful for the attackers.
We'll go get them, don't worry.
Oh, nope, never mind.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Then on the other side, you've got, I think, Libyan, no Samnites. I think they're going to push here. I think they're going to try and bust this and...
Yeah, there's not much holding the center anymore. It's just singular Thureos.
Yep, that is pretty much it.
The only thing the attackers could do is try to shrink the amount of ground they're occupying with their elites.
Royal Princess here, look at that. 134 men, 111 kills. One Chevron, he's doing pretty good. It's always nice to see.
Oh yeah, and hopefully it'll kill many more before the match is over. But as soon as that mid flank drops,
he'll be screwed at that point.
Yeah. Bloodsworn deciding to leave. Deciding to leave preemptively.
He's gonna go after the Artie. Or no, never mind.
Nah, they value their lives more than the battle.
And then I think he's throwing jabbies here. Now you're gonna get... Oh, nope, don't do that. You know the thing I hate the most is the encyclopedia button.
Oh, it's my favorite button.
Every time you go to like click the chat, you're like, oh, damn it, ah, fuck.
I just press Y when I want to look at chat. It'll open chat for you without you having to move your mouse.
It's handy.
Yes.
And here comes the breakthrough.
Oh yeah, Joseph is going to do everything he can to slow that down. But it's too late, Joseph.
Oh, nice charge. And he's gonna, I thought he was gonna go through, and I'm like, I don't think he wants to go through.
No, he can't go through that. He's trying so hard to protect those Royal Peltests.
59 kills, 61 kills. Literally sacrificing the general for it.
Yeah. The stick needs to move those Royal Peltests to guard the rear of the Oaths or on the right. Ah, it's too late. That Oath's dead. Never mind.
233. One Chevron with 233, so he wasn't really killing super great units. I mean, over here it was mostly Thuros and Hillman and junk like that.
Oh yeah. I wonder if they will do a land battle or if.
So this is a skirmish for a tournament that is going on. So this is not a legit battle. I don't think they plan on doing the land, do they?
I'm not really sure.
To be honest with you, I'm not sure I want to do the land. I kind of want to eat and then kind of go from there. And,
Yeah, I haven't
know.
eaten dinner yet myself.
so I'm not sure that we'll probably think this will probably be the last one. I hope everybody enjoyed the epic backgrounds and the podcast talk. I mean, hey, we stuck with 40 people for pretty much the entire stream, so I mean, I guess people liked something about it.
Yeah. I feel like Candor, Fight Me, Baby Jesus had a lot of good comments.
I agree.
Whereas,
I agree.
Whereas I'm more focused on the gameplay in the background.
And I'm just here for the entertainment. I'm gonna make a shirt that says "We're just here." I'm just here for the movie quotes or the bad jokes and movie quotes.
Oh yeah.
I think it's great because that's literally all my channel is
Jokes and movie quotes.
yeah, bad jokes and movie quotes.
The best content. Well, let's see how they did.
Pretty
yeah, that
even.
doesn't surprise me too much. Hermes did really well with his
Yeah.
defense. Let's see how many elites they had in total. Let's look at that.
All right, so Iceni as Swaby, 6.
Yeah.
2.
3.
So,
you got to count the cav too because it costs so much. So they have, quite a bit of elites that they didn't really get a good chance to use.
11 elites.
Yeah, that's too many. Have that. Don't get me wrong, elites are fun, but
203 on a tribal slinger out. That is something I will not bat an eye at.
Oh, yeah, that's really good, Hermes. That's a couple of times now you've surprised me with your slinger play. Good job.
The Legionnary's doing well. But look how healthy he is. Cohort, green. Cohort,
Another
green.
Cohort.
Even some of his Legionaries. I mean, like... Willow is Carthage.
2 healthy, 3 healthy units left.
Archers did decent. Like, these two did pretty well. This one probably could have done a little better. 158 on a Sam Knight. Double chevron, too.
Oh, yeah. They were killing elites.
Yeah, Kirky. 2 archers did pretty well. I mean, well enough. This one, not so great. If I get Persian Light somehow, like, of all the ones to still be really healthy, the Persian Light, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It only has the 1 healthy unit left, though, outside of his gen.
Yep.
The rest are pretty dead.
192 on a Thoros.
That's pretty good, too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then for the attackers, Iceni, the attackers, right? 149 on the. I honestly thought he was going to get more out of that, just from the fact that one point we saw he only had 80 kills and had only shot a couple times. So I'm a little surprised that he only got 149, but I guess that kind of is a testament to the defenders adjusting their stuff to make sure they didn't keep getting shot.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Stick, the archers, man. I think that really hurts.
Yeah, that really hurt.
192, and like his gen was forced into a bad situation. I think his gen could have done a lot better if not being in that situation.
Mid tiers did meh.
It's Thorax. They did what they did. 133 with the chevron's not bad. And then Oswarn, God, fucking Arverni here, JJ. 241, but only 1 chevron with that 241, like we said earlier.
Not super great.
And his chosen, I once again would say,
I'd say those chosen really underperformed.
Yeah, like just
He's only got
83 is not great.
Okay.
87's not great. 96 isn't great. 112. Honestly, 105, 112 aren't great either.
No,
this
for
is
chosen,
the number
really
I think you want to see. That
like 160.
Yeah, 160, 151, 160 with 2 chevrons.
That's
pretty good there. And then his archers, same. Even for Gallic hunters, like it's okay. So
Yeah.
I guess let's
Overall, the
go.
defenders did better than the
Yeah,
attackers in this
I
one.
agree. All right, I'm gonna go. Are they? Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Hermes and them if you want to come up.
Captain. GG. Hello,
GG,
Wellington.
guys. Well done.
And pacifist.
Hello.
We're doing a draw.
Oh yeah,
You're doing-
I to be honest, I don't want to do another one. To be honest with you,
So
I need to
how
go.
did we redeem ourselves, pacifist?
You did. With your defense, you redeemed your attack for sure.
Thank you.
I take almost full responsibility for fucking up on the attack. I was so.
Oh, you did horrible.
What were you,
were
Kirky,
so bad.
again?
I was
Athens.
Athens on the attack. I know I.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Honestly, I don't really think you did anything too wrong on attack. It just you guys ran out of steam. You didn't really push too hard. You weren't very aggressive.
I think so, Richard. I'm pretty sure they are.
I think we did. We won more decisively on the defense at least.
I completely and totally agree with that. The attackers began.
everything-
What's up?
Every archer, sorry to interrupt, but every archer that got into the range of my Numidian skirmisher just got bopped.
Yes.
Yeah, we commented on that.
Honestly, you guys, the defenders did a really good job with javelins. Very good job with the javelins.
Did you
Thank
watch
you.
the videos on the right?
Did you like that thing in the middle where I put my slaves inside of the Gallic warriors so they can throw while my
Yes,
slaves are
yeah.
surrounded?
Yeah, that was nice.
But I feel like the attackers had a very good initial attack. The beginning, like they were very decisive and they were in very quick, and then it just they got into a slog, and I think that really kind of hurt them. So
Yeah, I think if they didn't send a depleted club levy in the beginning there to surround my cohort or the legionnaires, and they sent a full one, I think I would have lost one legionnaire as well.
yeah, maybe.
At least.
So, Joseph, what was your reasoning behind so many elites on attack?
You mean I bring too many?
Yeah, I mean, you guys had how many total as a whole army? Like a
They had
single.
2 royal peltas.
11 elites.
Yeah, 11 elites.
Yeah.
What happened to those hex bearers?
I nuked them. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pacifist,
That's
did
what
you
we thought.
realize that Zach brought his random army? So the army that he uses against randoms, against
Yeah, you can't
these
do that.
players. That's why he did so bad, is because they know how to counter what he does. It's like bringing chariots against someone who knows how to counter chariots.
Absolutely. I feel like he could have gone with the army comp I recommended and have been recommending for a long time with the 5 sword masters. It feels more stable.
Yeah, the 5 sword masters, like 3 blood sword and some a lot of club levy.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why he built that army was because he was doing the unit challenge for the sword masters, and he just kept trying and trying to get the 800 kills.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have
All
that
right,
many
guys.
sword masters, then you can.
All right, guys, that is going to be it for today's stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. Really hope you guys enjoyed this one, even though it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We had a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys had a lot of fun with it. So thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next time.